Good evening. Good evening. It's the last Friday before Christmas. I hope everyone is in the festive spirit. I say that in absolutely no festive garb whatsoever. Very, very appalling of me. I appreciate it. How is everyone this evening? Lovely, lovely to see you all in early on.
It's not
so
the statistics. It's not the statistics. You tell me. How do you measure somebody that could balance a balloon in a wind tunnel on a needle?
My word, Nick, what a beautiful, beautiful way to start the stream. Thank you so much for the Prime subscription. You only get one of those. It is so, so appreciated. We have some familiar faces in this evening, but let's first say hello to Nick Crosis properly. He followed, I think it might have been last week, in for his first stream. Finally managed to align our schedules. Lovely, lovely to have you in, my dude. We also have some familiar faces. We have Quan is in, Johnny Trotter is in, Adam on the break is in. I seen a GNG. We've got a Johnny Trotter. We've got a Ladislav Almasi fan. We've got a Sass. We've got the king of skinning himself. Sassmas is here. Hung De Min is in. Hung De Min, good evening. Hank the Tank is in. Lovely, lovely to see you all. Obviously, I'd like to also say a big welcome and thank you. I guess you may not be in right now, but thank you so much for the follow yesterday, Petinias, and earlier today, Castamere1. If by chance you are in and you're comfortable chatting, do let us know like who you support, who you're playing with in FM. Be lovely to hear from you, but there's absolutely no obligation there whatsoever. We have Night of Nears in. Night of Nears in over on YouTube. Good evening, sir. How are you? Evening. He's on the middle of his 6-hour train ride for Christmas. 6 hours. That is quite a journey. My word. I mean, yeah, like just wow. I wouldn't want to deal with that. I hope that I can bring you some entertainment and chaos to accompany you along the way. So let's update you with how things are going currently with the save. So where we dropped off on, whilst it takes a while for it to load, there we go, perfect. We dropped off on Wednesday. Was it Wednesday? It was Wednesday indeed. We had a bit of a rough time of it. We won our games in Europe and we stuttered in the league. We're down to 8th. We've dropped a place. We're now 4 points off 6th with 15 points remaining. I think realistically with Gnistan and Ulu above us, we're probably looking for maybe around 11, 12 points we need to pick up in those final 5 games. So four wins potentially out of 5. And thankfully, we've got quite an easy schedule out of it. We currently have to play into Turku, who are in 4th, HJK, who I think were 2nd or 3rd, and Ilves, who are 1st. But we do have a pretty good history against the better teams. So fingers crossed, this is going to be the time we turn it around. Before that, however, we do have a game against Dundalk, and that's going to be a case of we're protecting a 2-goal lead. And as everyone knows, 2-0 is the most dangerous scoreline, followed by 3-1, 4-2, 5-3, and so forth. But we are at home, so fingers crossed we can get through this game, potentially resting as many players as we can, because it's only 3 days until the league game, which arguably is far, far more important. So Night of Knees family lives on the other side of Portugal. That is one hell of a journey, but hopefully worth it. Is it north or south? Are you thankfully down near the slightly warmer parts of Portugal, or are you having to go up to the more cold north side? Indeed, Quan, it's not mathematically over. It's I mean, mathematically speaking, it's actually not too awful. Do we play Nistan? I don't think we just drew with Nistan. We just threw away a lead late against Nistan in some pretty horrendous circumstances. But we do play Ulu. Ulu is the final game of the season, or final game of the first stage of the season. So there's potential that we're going to have like a proper climax to it. Perhaps we could come down to needing a win on the final day. Fingers crossed. How easy does Ladis have? Easy run, says Adam. Indeed. To be fair, you're on a great run. We are on one hell of a run. I mean, the fact that we won our first European game, the tie 7-0 was amazing. We beat Dundalk away from home. That is a massive surprise. Our financial situation is going to be pretty good. So, like, I mean, the only problem there is if we do hold out against Dundalk in the second leg, we're going to be filling these last few weeks up with midweek games as well, which could be a concern. So we need our whole squad. And the very last thing that happened was our top goal scorer, Mohamed Tehi Olawale, has picked up an injury for 5 weeks. That pretty much brings it right to the end of this first stage. So we are going to be running we should be running with Adam Larsson as our striker. He was the third top scorer in real life, what would be last season in game. He's not really got a good run, and he's never truly been particularly prolific. And I am thinking that we might actually play Daniel Rockman up front. Now, Daniel Rockman has never scored a goal for us. He's only played 300 minutes because he's struggled with injuries. And I think we can see down here he is quite injury prone. We can also see here that he's really rubbish at finishing. So we'll just pop up the key there. But he has also got quite a fair amount of pace, and he's got good agility. And I feel that as somebody to stretch the defence, maybe he could have the second half resurgence a little bit like Olawale, a similar profile, a winger that could perhaps be that man to go beyond Lundberg. That's the hope anyway. We were all born in the relatively cold north, says Night of Knee. Oh, that's a shame. Hank, a proper climax, eh? A proper climax indeed. It's the only, well, actually, getting old now, so you know, a proper climax is nice. Oh, that's yeah, that was unnecessary. 0 wins in 4 Veikkausliiga matches indeed, and that last game, that game against Gnistan, oh, that was quite frustrating. They had 3 shots, 1.23 xG, and they scored 3 goals. We were so good. We were so dominant. And just every single time we seemed to just throw it away. Really painful. Yeah, Liga not so much, but seem to be doing good against stronger opponents. We've generally speaking done quite well against teams better than us. So Night of Knee says they remain there. I've moved to the warmer south. Oh, to the Algarve. Very nice. Been there since 2009. Why does Larsson not have a snazzy picture? The real reason Larsson doesn't have a snazzy picture is because we weren't ever going to renew his contract, and we know it's up this season. But we do now have one for the man with a cheeky grin. We might even have a goal song for him. So fingers crossed he does actually work out as a striker. Adam says we might play Rockman up front. Proceeds to rattle off a load of reasons he shouldn't play up front. Naturally. Only a proper climax only when I see grannies. Indeed. And Hank says yes, the true Musterman way. Indeed. Great minds think alike, or idiots seldom differ. So, having lost a player to injury, I have transfer listed Robin Sid, and we do have a bid from I think Cavalry are Canadian. They are indeed Canadian. So 80k, the intermediary takes like a 2% cut, but we get some money for a player who's just not quite ever worked out for us. And I'm now going to upset Adam because I've agreed to give Albin Skoglund some games as a starter. Now Shambost has scored 7 goals, which is great, and he's got 7 assists. That's all good and well, but it's very much hot and cold. It's very much hot and cold. And if we look at Skoglund has scored at a far higher rate. So we've promised Skoglund, and we're going to run with him to start off with. So I'm just putting the team together before we start the stream. I think we're going to pop Yama Mohammed in, and in goal we're sticking with the underwhelming Riikonen. Now, Riikonen's performances, generally speaking, I say not that bad. So his XG prevented is actually pretty decent. So minus 0.03, goals conceded 1.22. He's not necessarily being that awful. He only makes one save a game. So it's not that he's good. By comparison, Lasse Schultz concedes 0.38 more than expected, and it's been painful, hasn't it, this season? So our subs, we'll do that, and we'll do that. Shambos on the bench, Larson. Actually, we can put them all in, can't we? Because it's Europe. So yeah, it's a handful of young and fringe players. I don't know whether we're going to do this. Can I promise Chukwuemeka some game time as well? I mean, he is starting. Emmanuel Chukwuemeka will be starting. So I've made a couple of tweaks with the tactic, or more specifically, I went back in time. I went all the way back to the end of last season. I grabbed the tactic from there. There weren't really much differences. It was we changed the attacking midfielder to Trequartista. So I've reverted that back. We've taken the stopper off. We've stopped him from drifting wide as well. So we're going to try and keep the defenders as static as possible. We've asked the wing backs to take fewer risks, because when I was looking through the stats, they were losing the ball a lot. And we might situationally change Yuhi to play more direct if we're struggling to break down teams. So that's kind of what we're doing. Oh, and Riikonen is now sweeper keeper on support. So we'll see how it goes. So we head straight away into the first game. We did bring everything up to time there. I had a look at the transfer market or the loan market specifically, and our assistant manager didn't really give us many players. There were like two who all had like no goals whatsoever. So we're gonna just kind of wait it out, see if the players suggested change once we've got a little bit of cash in the bank. That's the idea, at least. So here we go. I think it's time we shut a few people up. I do indeed. And let's go for a whole raft. We're going to speak to them by name. Here we go. Pedro, Jammer, Adam, Daniel, Albin, Daniel. I have faith. And some of you reacted, so that's okay. Such a tune. I know you guys hate it. Loans, they say. Loans again. Z would be proud. Absolutely. Absolutely. Sandpiper is in. Good evening, Sandpiper. How are you? Lovely, lovely to have you in, my dude. It's such... I love it so much. I know that no one else does. See, Hank gets it. Ooh, what? Like that, the lyrical genius. It's on a par with the Beatles. Hung Ming goes with the emojis. Good man. Snickerosa says, "Oh man, this music as a fine old fan reaching the finals in the first season was so cool." I can imagine. As a Villa fan, not quite reaching the finals was pretty amazing. So, like, lower expectations for us, I guess, to be fair. Right, so two of our defenders booked already. Now, that's one thing we did add. We did add harder tackles, which I know sounds crazy considering our issues with penalties. But the way I look at it is if we're conceding penalties anyway, we might as well be a little bit more forceful and try and cut out issues like we did there, like we didn't tackle there. And that's time to get nervy now. Time to get nervy. It's better than Sergeant Pepper for sure. Exactly. Kwan says, "Oh man, this music, can't believe my favourite team played in this comp based on our reputation." Exactly. I'm having nightmares all over again. So what's your team? Adam has redeemed only Connect for whenever. You good man, sir. We'll do it after this game. Because I might need to... Enquist to the back post. No, he can't go. He can cover. Squares it back. And there's Albin Skoglund. Albin Skoglund. Shambosh who? Shambosh who? So, Enquist gather the second ball. Look at those. I am enjoying the software developer socks there for Dundalk. A nice kit. The Lily White's back in it, of course. G&G is rooting for Dundalk, and we'll let him. We'll let him. Is this going to be a chance for us to counter? Slayman with a beautiful first touch there, and he tries to take it past his man. There isn't a route. Comes back. Here's Slayman on the ball once again. Slayman takes a pop from distance. Unfortunately, always rising, never threatening the goal. Okay, so that's we've maintained our 2-goal cushion. That's pretty good. Quan says it's a broker loaner indeed. Fair play. Right, save the points. We need to combine for a shave muster bed. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's never happening. This is my comfort beard. It's like a blankie. Oh, this is good. Right. Yeah, not too much of the ball. That's absolutely fine. We do need to be mindful of the fact that players are booked, so I think we can do a little bit more. We can definitely do a little bit more. I am going to take Get Stuck In. I'll show you why after the game as well, why I've added Get Stuck In. It wasn't because I wanted loads and loads of yellow cards this early into a game. So a round of keep going. That'll do. Shambos demoted to the B team. He's on the bench, and he will almost certainly come on at some point. Right, here's a chance perhaps for Dundalk. O'Neill gets it back to Burton. Burton finds Davis. Cross to the far post. O'Kane gets there to the second ball. O'Kane gets it out to Davis. Davis. That's another shot on target. It's another goal. Weakenham beaten at his near post. Absolutely stupendous by Davis, apparently. So Davis was the one with the cross. Okereke and Mohammed both went for the ball. Kane got there, played it back to Davis on the edge of the area. Weakenham just didn't adjust. He watched the ball go all the way across. He just stood there like the ball was here, and he watched it, and he just stood still. Like, why should I bother shuffling my feet? Let's just leave that part of the goal open, shall we? Marvellous stuff. Marvellous stuff. 2 shots, 2 goals. 2 shots on target, 2 goals. It's getting sweaty. It is most definitely getting sweaty. So, Enquist going to send it in. Shelby's going to claim that easy. The chance for him to launch it forwards. This could turn the tie on its head. Shelby with the long ball forwards. Akintunde can't get there. Slayman's here though. Now Skoglund's got some space. Plays it out to Enquist. Enquist crosses it early. Rockman easily beaten in the air. We've won a penalty. Who's taking it? It's Skoglund, isn't it? Skoglund took one before. Skoglund steps up. Skoglund denied. Oh, penalty luck. This is how it is. Enquist crosses it in. Skoglund's the one attacking it, but it's cleared, and now Kirk has a chance to break. Carries it forward to Akintunde. Akintunde gets it out of his feet. Runs at Okoriki. Horgan. That's Mohammed even. Mohammed does well. Gets it back to Weakening. Weakening sends it long. Right, we're going to pause things so we can make a change. We do have 2 defenders. And the best way to see out the lead is to bring on another young player. Now, if we've got Lofgren on the right, then we want someone a little bit more experienced at right back. Now we've got at least 2 defenders who can defend. He can go on to ease off tackles. Let's see. So Lofgren, I want to say no pressure, my dude. Saku, I need you to perform. Devastated that Shambosh has been made a scapegoat, but generally okay, says Adam. He's not been made a scapegoat. He's just a case of, I think that Skoglund's got a perfectly reasonable claim to ask for more starting time. And so we go for it as he shoots wide from distance. 5 goals conceded from the last 5 shots on target and 2.2 XG. It really, so frustrating. I mean, the whole of Wednesday evening was so frustrating. Our XG woes are really quite something at the moment. Right. Larson will come on. No great impression from Rockman in his first start as a striker. So give Team Talk what we're saying to Larson. I want to see a good performance. No reaction. We have Ball Genius, Pep Eriksson Hag slot. Guess you'll be the bearded genius. That's some very kind words. Imagine how Shambosh would be in the new role. Yeah, I'm sure he would have been fine, and I'm sure he will be when he comes on as well. Wait, how many points is the beard being removed is currently infinity points. I'm not agreeing to it. I'm sorry. I do apologise as well for reading in completely the wrong order of chat right now. I'm just picking them out at random as I see them various places. Slayman gets the ball back to Enquist. Enquist across Savalainen. Savalainen 2-2. We've got to feel safe now. That's restored our 2-goal cushion. Oh, that's good for us. That is good for us. Enquist, the cross is deflected. Slayman gathers, plays it back. Enquist across first time. Savalainen, the other wing back, arriving late. That is some beautiful, beautiful stuff. Another highlight. I was about to make a change, but we'll see out this highlight now. Fonsell going to play it to Enquist. Enquist gets the cross in. Skoglund attacking the back post. That's never going to cause any trouble. And Shelby claims. Right, so the changes we need to make really are going to be based around fitness here. So, you're not going to like this. Shamboster's left-footed. Shamboster's coming on for Enquist. Machado needs a little bit of a rest as well. Fonsell, how tall is Fonsell? Fonsell is 6'2". So actually, he'll move into defence, and we will bring on Ajala. There we go. I think that should be okay. We're not even going to say any words to them either. So RJ is in. Good evening, RJ. How are you doing, my man? I hope you are well. Shambosh would never. I don't even think. I think Shambosh has been on the pitch when we had a penalty previously, and wasn't the one who took it. Skoglund denied. Skoglund denied a chance for a second. That could have been his redemption. Adam is foaming at the mouth, I'm sure, seeing that Skoglund's missed a chance, but he's getting into the positions. That's what's important. Do we get the song for a draw if it seals progression? I have a feeling we might do. We just might do. Need a Conference League remix of Mariehamn victory song. Well, I think the home game song that we've got, being that it's a European winning song, is already appropriate, thankfully. Heston's in, just joined in. How's it going? You've not missed much at all, Heston. Lovely to have you in this evening. We have just progressed to the next round of the Conference League. It's the first match of the stream. We had 3-1 lead to defend at home, and 2-0's up. We're still dealing with the same woes. We're underscoring XG. We're over conceding XG. But I think we played pretty well. Hopefully we can take that on into the next game. But first, there we go. A little bit of Vikloff holding arena, which for those that it doesn't make any sense whatsoever, that is the name of our stadium. Right, we can be happy with that. Is there a thing about that's how you deal? Yep, I'm happy with that, how this tie went. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Heston said, random aside, had some issues with corrupt save files crashing. Not sure if something with the iconic skin or just my 6-year-old laptop dying. So, the skin shouldn't cause you any issues with crashing. It's just cosmetic updates ultimately. It doesn't change anything under the hood. But it's always worthwhile making sure that if you do have issues, clear cache, verify your game files in Steam. If you're still having problems, contact SI. So through the forums, you can raise support tickets and they'll be able to help you there. Can't even escape Dundalk losing on here, says GNG. I'm sorry, sire. And Football Manager is meant to be escapism as well. That's very unfair. Who've we got? We have got Nevki Pesikar Football Klubu of Azerbaijan next. Oh, and a very, very, very angry-looking man as their key player, Rezian Mirzov, a 32-year-old attacking midfielder / left winger. He's played 2 games, not really done much. Hopefully that bodes well if that's the best player they've got. Cool. Right, so now we're up against Inter Turku. I will show you the reasons why we've made some of those changes. Can we do 2 days rest? 2 days. We can only really do 1 day there. So basically, the reason why we've gone for hard tackling is actually let's do it from the data hub. Data hub is bigger. So we want a polygon. No, we want a scatter graph. We want a team scatter graph for tackling. So this is where we stand right now. We currently have an 82% tackle win rate, the second best tackle win rate in the league, but we don't attempt that many tackles. So we second best for tackle win rate, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, pretty much middle of the pack for actually how many we attempt. And so that passiveness, I want us to get a bit more stuck in. We should see our tackle win rate drop down a bit. Maybe it'll drop down to around the 80% mark. That's fine. If we can try and stop the opposition before they get to our box, we've got less to worry about our goalkeepers conceding every damn shot on target. That's the theory, at least. Generally speaking, though, we haven't veered too much from what we've been doing otherwise, because when it comes to shooting, we are creating the second most shots per game. Our issue is that we're middle of the pack for shots on target. We're only a little bit below the average. I'm not that concerned about that. We are creating those chances. The formation, the system is kind of working, and look at the chances we missed today. It does very much seem like a personnel issue. It's not that they're getting low quality chances. So we're keeping faith on that basis. So Timek over on YouTube asks, how did you make those cartoony player pictures? I took the face pack, so you can see this with players that I haven't done yet. I took the face pack and I drew over the top of them in a piece of software that's not designed for drawing. They're a little bit low quality. They're a little bit funky, but it's very unique. And that's kind of what we're going for there. There's a Tatsugiri in. Good evening, Tatsugiri. How are you doing? We haven't won the league yet, unfortunately. So Ladislav says a double ball winning midfielder. We could do that. But I like the defensive midfield, the playing defensive midfielder, because they do kind of get a little bit more involved. Especially when Dahlstrom plays there, which he will do in probably the next game. Does reasonably well from a creativity point of view, especially looking for that pass down to thread the advance forward in. We should use a combo of 2 ball-winning midfielders and 2 pressing forwards. We definitely not going to the double pressing forwards or any combination of 2 strikers that are pressing forwards and or advance forwards. It's very much something that seems to overwhelm the match engine. So try as much as we can to avoid things that I know are deliberately meta. So you do find that two midfielders on support does appear to be something that appears quite common in all the overpowered tactics, which is why we're making sure we've got the split. But I don't want 2 ball winning midfielders. I want Juhi kind of contributing a little bit further up, or Dahlstrom. Right. Anyway, so we said thank you for the hydrate, by the way, Hungdamin. I have just seen it. I do apologise. And thank you for the follow, Legacy. I do apologise for missing that as well. I hope you're doing well. So now we'll head on over to a game of Only Connect. So for those guys that haven't been here before, let's take you through how Only Connect works. You're going to see 4 pictures of players. They all have a common link, and you'll see the pictures one after another. Your job is to work out what that connection is. Now, the pictures won't have the names of the players on them, so you've got to work that out first and then work out what that connection might be. And whilst it is kind of semi-competitive, the idea is if you do know who it is, pop it in chat, make sure that everyone knows, and you can kind of start bouncing ideas around. That said, the person who guesses correct first gets points, and the earlier they guess, the more points they get. And that gets you onto that lovely little leaderboard just beneath me there, which Adam is currently leading, as he has very, very happily messaged me earlier to make sure that it was all updated for today. And it always is before the streams, this one anyway. The one during the break isn't. So yeah, let's head on in and see how we get on with the first round of Only Connect. So we're looking at this gentleman. So Hungdamin wants us to chop legs. Kwan has already gone in early. He's gone in with all won the Premier League. Now, correctly, we have identified that it is Christian Carambeau, RJ, Adam, Tatsugiri, all correct there. He did play in the Premier League. Played in the Premier League with Middlesbrough. Was that in the 90s or was that early 2000s? It was certainly towards the end of his career, that's for sure. Unfortunately, he didn't win the league with them. That would have been something, Middlesbrough winning the league, eh? Can we think of anything particularly unique or notable about Christian Carambeau? I'm going to take the relative silence as a no. We'll move on. RJ's gone for they married a model. That's an interesting thought. It is not that they've married a model. Who did Christian Carambeau manage? Ex-Middlesbrough players who won a European trophy, says Hungdamin. That could be. It's not born in a country they didn't represent, goes Tasku. It's not that either. It is not that either. Let's move on to the next one and see. Now, I think most people should be able to work out who this is. Sadly, not an ex-Middlesbrough player. Adam comes in and shouts RVP very, very quickly. Necrosis follows just mere seconds afterwards. It is indeed Rude? It is indeed Robin Van Persie. Hank goes for Nicholas Bentner. That would... does Nicholas Bentner count as a Streets Won't Forget player? Not necessarily for being good, but just for being iconic in his own way. A true cult player, in so much as cult normally refers to something being a bit shit. Like cult movies are all movies that are kind of bad, but you like them anyway. So, did they all score world-class volleys against Villa? Not that I know about. You missed an important word in there as well, by the way, Adam. Is did they all score offside world-class volleys against Villa? Because Man United get all the decisions in their favour back then anyway. So, players who moved clubs for trophies? I could see where you're going for. I think that's a... Like, most players move clubs, unless they're a one-club man. Meme players, exactly. Left their club to win a league title. Yeah, it's not that, I'm afraid, unfortunately. Players who are ex-teammates of Nicholas Bentner, the GOAT. Yeah, that would be nice. He is the GOAT. Scored in the World Cup final, goes Hank. It's not that, but that's quite good. Known for iconic headers, says Kwan. What a goal that was. Played with Thierry Henry, says RJ. It isn't. FMG&G has gone for animals in names. So you've got Robin in Robin Van Persie. What's the animal in Chris? Is there an animal in Christian Carambeau? Christian Carambeau. I can't think of a camel bow. Only in meme. It's not. Let's move on to the next one. See if that helps at all. So Carambeau, Currente births, all share names with superheroes. Have they all got a Christmas theme? Says Adam. So you're going for Christian, right? You're going for Robin. You're going for Santa Cruz. It's not that. It's not that at all. Just a coincidence. Players that don't sing their national anthem, says Necrosis. Interesting. I don't know. I don't know. And obviously, can confirm that is indeed Roque Santa Cruz. Tatsugiri also went for all Christmas-related names. It's not just complete and utter coincidence. Complete coincidence. It's not Christmas names. Do you know how long it took for me to come up with a theme that looked like it was Christmas-themed names but wasn't? So, Quan, this is Roque Santa Cruz, a former Bayern Munich and Man City striker. Bah humbug, says Johnny Trotter. Bastard, says Hank. I think bastard is fair. Bastard is definitely fair. Last one's going to be Rudolph. It could be Rudolph. It could be Rudolph. I'm morally outraged, but also incredibly impressed. I'll take that. I'll definitely take that. Let's move on to the final clue. Now, I believe that the criteria. This is really convoluted, right? This is very convoluted for a Christmas link, and it's the one that breaks the Christmas link, thankfully. But technically, to become a saint, you need to be canonized, right? And Arsenal have a cannon in their logo. So does that count? Does that make who you've correctly identified as Anelka Saint Nick? So Tatsugiri has gone for, have they all played in Madrid? So no. Roque Santa Cruz was at Malaga. I know that much. I don't know if he played for like a smaller Madrid club. Of course RVP hasn't either. Yes, good point, Necrosis. Nicholas is Christmas person. Yep, see, Ladislav will accept that as a convoluted Christmas link as well. So are they all French nationality? Unfortunately not. Van Persie's Dutch. Santa Cruz is Paraguayan or parents. Okay, no, it's not that. So what's been one that's been closest so far? I think that the closest guess so far has been RJ, who asked whether they'd all played with Thierry Henry. It's not Thierry Henry. I can tell you that much. So Hungdamin says all ex-Madrid players who have Christmas-related names. Again, unfortunately not all Madrid players. Arsenal versus Madrid, Bayern versus Madrid. Costa Rica, says RJ. Pires, they all played in Madrid. So who did they play in Madrid? Have just at least one game in Madrid. So it's not Pires. It is not Pires. It's very good. I don't believe there was any link between Pires and Santa Cruz. All played with Gael Clichy. So Gael Clichy came. Well, Gael Clichy. No, he left Arsenal too late. Or he joined Man City after Roque Santa Cruz had left. But you are definitely along the right lines. Maybe some kind of, I don't know, French Arsenal player. So all have a son called Jesus. That would be cool. That would be a nice thing. Do you know if any of them have sons named Jesus? I obviously haven't looked that far in depth. Or is that just like, why not try? So I tried. You tried indeed. It was a perfectly good guess. Supreme Kwan went for Adebayor. Adam has gone for Patrick Vieira. He was at City for a bit, but no idea if it was the right time. RVP's son is called Shaquille. Like maybe he has another son? I don't know. But is it Vieira? It is Vieira. Played with Christian Carambert for France between 1997 and 2002. Played with Robin Van Persie for only one season. So 405. Roque Santa Cruz for only one season. In fact, Patrick Vieira and Roque Santa Cruz only played together for one game. It was an away game in the League Cup against West Brom that Man City lost 2-1. And then Nicolas Anelka, who played within Arsenal and in France. Well done, Adam. Well done, Adam, indeed. Fabulous work. Right, so let's head in, and we've got a big game against Interturku coming up next. Now, because we're going to be looking at a league fixture, I want to persevere with Rockman, but I don't want to have a player who's not fully fit starting the game. I'm fine with that in Europe. We'll use Europe to get him up to health. Oh, burpy burps. Right, so we want to go to our full strength lineup. That means we want Raitanen in the centre. We're swapping Kuitunen and Machado over. So Kuitunen had been playing on the left, Machado had been playing on the right. Zero thoughts to it other than might as well try something. We're going with Savalainen, sticking with Enquist. Dahlstrom comes back in. Jala's going to stay on the bench, and we're going to persevere with Fonsel. 6.8. Are we going to persevere with Fonsel, or do we play Ajala at the base? See, because Ajala can play at right wing back, we often want to keep him there so he can do so. Skoglund stays. Back comes Lundberg. And then our bench, that needs to be. So our bench needs Kereke as the backup centre-back. We need a player to play at right back. Mohamed didn't have a great game. All at left back. So we've got Fonsel. That regards. We have Shambost. We have Juhi. We have Rockman. We have Slayman. There we go. And then 3 of these players will get injured before we actually get to the game. Standard fare. We know how it is. So, Adam is still outraged. I'm sorry. Ladislav says I've had Vieira's Wikipedia open for like 3 minutes long for links. Oh, I'm sorry, man. Santa Cruz lost RJ. I'm sorry as well. So two arms, one striker. 2 AMs, one striker. It has been a consideration. We did do that. So essentially, we've just gone back to what gave us the wins at the end of last season. We did try earlier on in the season 2 AMs, and it didn't really seem to gel. So with us needing to win every game, we're basically just going on as solid ground as we possibly can. I don't think it's necessarily going to be enough, but we can hope. So we'll focus on out of possession. There is going to be a big change, though. I anticipate youth player not being someone I can register. That's annoying. I do anticipate some big changes over the off season. I think we are going to abandon the 3-man defense, but we're going to need to look to build our team around that. Going to be a little bit more ruthless, a little bit more loan oriented, I think, as we try and push forwards and put the memories of this season behind us, because we evidently didn't quite get it right. Yay, Sid is finally gone. Sid is finally gone. 77k. Goodbye. Skoglund hat-trick loading. Thank you, Quan. It's going to happen. It is going to happen. Right. What does that do for this? We can have some wage budget, but what we'll do is we'll move it somewhere like here and see if that means we'll get some different suggestions. I would like covering the fullback areas. So these are all people we've seen before. Oh, that was transfers. I know what I'm doing. Honest. Loan. There. And then we go through every position just to see if we can get some more recommendations. It doesn't look like it's going to be the case. I don't want no nonsense. We'll take that. We'll take inverted as well if there's any. do the same here. So we've got Savalainen who can play as a left back. So I'm quite happy for us to bring in another right back instead if needs be. Just so that we can perhaps avoid having to use Ajala out there unnecessarily. Now, unfortunately, these are all the same players we had whilst we were off stream. Oh no, Ryan Mahuta's been added on. So Poyarkov is playing in Rostov's reserves. Like, doesn't look awful. He had an okay loan at Lahti. I don't really know much about the non-division that Rostov 2 are in. £35 per week. Oh, I've got to change that back at some point. So Purkov could be actually an option. Add to shortlist for a month. Ryan Mahuta. Ryan Mahuta has a great name. I love that name. I think that says a lot, though, about his fit for us. He can win his tackles. He can win his headers. That's pretty good. Really good defensively. Doesn't really do what... He isn't a like-for-like replacement for Enquist. Enquist is a dribbly boy who creates chances, and Mahuta doesn't do that. So that's a shame. These guys, none of them really appealed to me. I did consider... looking to bring in Mustermannfm Jafar, but I practiced this name. I saw him come up before and I was like, yes, let's learn his name. So Mustermannfm Jafarpor. Mustermannfm Jafarpor. I did consider bringing in Mustermannfm Jafarpor purely because there is not a single way that I am ever going to be able to pronounce that during the course of a game. But yeah, he seemed to... He was quite rubbish, I seem to recall. So he's played 2 games for Kalmar last season, 7.10. That looks great. I mean, it is only 2 games. You can't make judgments off that. For the reserve team, he wasn't particularly good. And then this season, he's still not really been particularly great. And if that's reserve level, probably not going to make a contribution for us. So there's no new suggestion. Well, there was one new suggestion there, Mahuta. See if we've got any options here for like advanced forwards, pressing forwards. This is a lot more. He only gave us 2 options last time out, so this is quite promising. So previously we can discount these 2. Those were the ones that I'd looked at before. Nathan Amanatidis, an Australian, playing for Sydney FC. We've got no information. We can't scout him. Not a goal scorer, and a goal scorer is what we need right now. George Aguirre, Osasuna's reserves. They're not in an active league. We've got minimal knowledge. That's better than nothing, I suppose. So I don't think we've got the... Yeah, we haven't got that loaded. But still, again, not prolific in a non-active league. Go to here. He's currently playing in Halmsted's. That's okay. It's just moved there. Was previously playing in a non-active league, but 9 and 10 goals is certainly a lot better than what we've seen so far. Bayern 1, Leipzig 1, Musiala and Sesko. Interesting. A Baumgartner is playing. And I do apologise, Itamar. Thank you very much for the follow. I hope you're doing well. Maybe try a trial. Yeah, we could do potentially. Hanks reckons the name that I can't remember anymore sounds Welsh. Fair. Crikey, that'd cost a bit on a shirt, wouldn't it just? Potato says pretty much exactly the same thing at the same time. Imagine if we tried to fit his last name on a shirt. Can I recommend a tops class striker? Ladislav Almasi. There we go. Let's see if he's in the save. He doesn't look to be. How many Ladislavs are there in game? We have one Ladislav. Ladislav Krejci, the 33-year-old Sigma Olomouc winger. Earning 2.5k. That's a shame, eh? So, Thierry Gale. Now, as I will mention again, generally speaking, I'm leaving our scouting up to the scouts, which we've taken it away from them, and the director of football. We're not going to be going through loads and loads of recommendations, so we kind of want players to come to us semi naturally. But let's see if something changes. There's only one Panashin. Panache is a great name, but yeah, we know nothing about him. We can't scout him, so most of these suggestions we probably won't follow up unless they're recommended to us by staff. Anders Hellblom was the last one to look at. A 22-year-old might be quick, just might though. There we go, a player that last scored a goal in 2023. So that's a no. That is most definitely a no. Let's have a look at what we've got going on here. So I don't really want us to be spending money on wages, or not permanently at least. So if we move contract status down, these are the people potentially interested in a loan, or that's attacking midfielders. Let's look at strikers. Ola Sonia from HJK. He's got 1 goal this season. He did score 10 last time out. I think he scored against us. Not a great rating. On 19 across all competitions. 8 of those in Europe. Oh, that's interesting. He's transfer listed or loan? Transfer listed. 25-year-old Finnish. £1,100 per week. That's a bit steep. Possesses pace, consistent big matches. Would they entertain the idea of a loan? No, they wouldn't. Okay. Then we've got Latupa, who's an attacking midfielder that can play up front. He's got 1 goal this season. Last season, he scored 3 goals in 5 games. Not the worst return, but he's not playing, which isn't great. He did spend some time on loan at Helsingor. 5 goals in 35 games. Yeah, he's not the one either. Tommy Hoyland, 36 years old. He's slow. That's not what we need. We need someone fast to get in behind. So that's a shame. Fullbacks, though, we can look at. Although fullbacks, we will actually look at after we come back from a break, which is about to happen now. So I'm going to go stand up, stretch my legs. Then I'll see you guys in about 3 minutes. It says the ads are still in progress, but I know that most of you guys are subscribed, and I'm back from my little break. So let's move straight into guess the player. I want to say hello, by the way, to Samuel over on YouTube. I think I've seen that you've managed to join the Discord. Marvelous stuff. I'm also delighted that it shows that the commands are working on YouTube as well. So it's 2-1 now. 2-1 now to Bayern, with Lima scoring against his old team. Nice. And in Italy they're playing, and it's 0-0 between AC Milan and Verona. I don't want to suggest that there are stereotypes, but it does seem appropriate that in Germany, loads of goals. In Italy, none whatsoever. Ladislav says, reminds me of those League 1-2 English strikers who score like 2 goals a year max and still get signed. Like they just like merry-go-round between the same kind of clubs as well. Bit crazy. Right, we're going to play around and guess the player. For those that haven't been here before, let me just explain the rules. You're going to see 4 pictures from a player's profile in FM24. That means that the player is at the club that they are in the default database. So they might have moved in real life over the summer, and if that's the case, they're going to be at their original club. So just bear that in mind. Your job is to use those clues to guess who the player is. The earlier you guess, the more points you get. The more points you get, you end up on that lovely little leaderboard. And we have some guesses coming in early before we've even revealed the first clue. Is it Peter Odemwingie? Is it Mohamed Tehi Olawale? Is it Harry Maguire? Is it Nicholas Zalewski? Some fine guesses. Now, I do know for certain that you are wrong, but I can't actually remember off the top of my head who it is. So let's see who we've got. Ah, yes, now I know. Cool, we've got a right-footed poacher. Perhaps an advanced forward, perhaps a deep-lying forward. Definitely not a complete forward. And Ladislav Almasi fan is guessing the name of somebody who followed last week when they were on a different account. It's sadly it's not Tyreek George, I'm afraid. Is it Jesus? Is that a guess of Gabriel Jesus or our Lord and Saviour, he of the stigmata Jesus? Time for a player with a Christmas name. Expecting Christmas names. Is it Almasi? It's not Almasi. It's not Dolberg. I can be a trickster, I suppose. That I think that Olawale is a perfectly reasonable pre-game guess. At some point, surely I've got to do a Mariehamn player, right? Is it Hugo Duro? Is it Tammy Abraham? Is it Moise Keane? Is it Julian Alvarez or Mark Gui? It is none of those people, I'm afraid. It is none of those players. Let's just check what we've got here. So is it John Duran? It's not John Duran. It's not Nicholas Jackson. It's not Marcus Rashford. We can now see that this is a player that doesn't necessarily have the pace of those players mentioned so far. Just 11 for acceleration and pace. Just 10 for strength. A very good penalty taker. A very good mover. Now I can see why he's actually a bit weird for them to suggest he's a poacher, because he moves into channel and comes deep to get ball. But he doesn't have the pace to do those, to like beat a player when he moves into channels. He doesn't have the strength to hold up the ball either. An interesting selection of skills there. So is it Brian Brobby? Is it Morgan Rogers? Is it Vardy? Is it Paul Mullin? Paul Mullin. Now that would be a nice one to pull out. Alvaro Morata, Lee Trundle. That's a throwback. I do like it. Endrick, Dybala, Awoniyi, Falcao. These are all fantastic guesses. I think a lot of the players guessed so far are probably a little bit are either quicker or stronger than this person. Ben Brereton has been guessed. Lautaro Martinez definitely has a much better physical profile. But yeah, I could see that. I mean, especially with those traits, it would be a good suggestion. Adam Armstrong has tank. Is that just generic Adam Armstrong strong hate? Just he's got to be a little bit rubbish physically, because there's no other way that he's that ineffective as a player in real life. Is it Kamada, Vardy again, Lacazette, Maciej Kuna? It is none of those players, I'm afraid. Let's move on to the next one. Griezmann's been guessed. Griezmann's interesting. Mateta as well. We now have a division. It's a good Eredivisie player. Performs well in training. That's not particularly helpful. It tells you that he's quite good at penalties, which we already know as well. So the guesses now, we do have some Dutch guesses coming in. Johnny Trotter, a great callback there. Afonso Alves. I wonder what happened. Didn't he wasn't he still playing at 40? Had a really crazy career route after Middlesbrough. So is it De Jong? Is it Jimenez? Is it Ricardo Pepi? Malik Tillman's been guessed. Chupa Akpon, another guess for Brobby. Shirton, Luke De Jong again. It's none of those, I'm afraid. It is none of those. One of the things I would suggest maybe paying attention to is that bit right at the top. A regular starter, but maybe past his best. So is it Klaassen? It's not Klaassen. It's not Troy Parrott, unfortunately. It's sad. Parrott's definitely not past his best. Parrott's only 23, I think. 23. So Bergwijn's been guessed from Tatsugiri. Ladislav Almasifan has beaten Adam to the punch with Weghorst. Weghorst is a fantastic guess. It's not Weghorst. Quan has said tall slow player. He's gone for Luke De Jong as well. Necrosis has gone for Ricky van Wolfswinkel. That's an interesting guess. Potato over on YouTube has gone for Tadic. Now, if I wasn't going to go for a Christmas themed player at this one, it would definitely be somebody with a funny name like Wolfswinkel. You know, that Winkle like a penis. Ricky van Wolfspinkle. Pinkle? Ricky van Wolf's penis. It is, of course, Ricky van Wolfswinkel. A fantastic guess there from Necrosis. Good work there. A fine 2 points going your way. Amazing stuff. Absolutely pulled that one out. I thought that was going to go all the way down to the wire. It's a Norwich legend indeed, says Johnny Trotter. If we use the word legend very loosely. Now, he is a legend because this was the only picture I could find of Ricky van Wolfswinkel that was 1, large enough, and 2, not in a Norwich kit. I wanted it out of the Norwich kit because, you know, I already get accused of an English bias. Naturally, that's what I know best. Yes, fantastic stuff there. Comes in, manages to make your first stream and already on the points board. Great work, sir. And also, just before we disappeared off for that little break, I changed this over to defenders on the right, and I think we've already found the player that we're going to look to bring in, because Koskopalo was quite good for us last year. So fantastic, says Johnny Trotter. Nice work. I remember getting him in match attacks as Ladislav Almasifan. There's a throwback. So this was he wasn't perfect, but he did create chances for us, and we guess what? We didn't finish them off. That's a recurring theme, isn't it? So he can play on the right, he can play on the left. He doesn't play wing back on the left, but that extra cover, I'd be quite keen to see if we could bring Koskopalo back. Oh, but they don't want to send him to us. Should they be presented an offer that's too good to be turned down? Especially if it includes a sensible future fee. I'm not going to do any of those things. Let's just suggest that. Yeah, there we go. That was the expected result, to be fair. Oh well, that thought's over already. Hertic is a no-nonsense centre-back that can play, but is also injured. Another centre-back, so nothing great on options there for the right-hand side. Thought he had retired, to be honest. Tatsugiri, I thought so the same as well, to be honest. I picked a random team in the Eredivisie earlier on this morning. I went, let's see who plays for Twente. And there he was. Pardon me. Tonight of Knee asks, is that player a subliminal sign you're going to go for Portuguese League mini Moneyball after you're done with the Prem? Unfortunately, I don't like to give false hope. So if, depending on how the mini Moneyball series is received, the next league will be Ligue 1. We'll be going to France. but there are plans for a Portuguese team for a full Moneyball episode. And that should probably happen before we finish the Premier League with the mini episodes. So left backs. Potentially this guy called Jacob Ha. He's got some pace. He can't dribble. He can't cross. He's injury prone. He's not adaptable. Yeah, I think that can be discounted already. What about Ian Garrett? Minimal knowledge on this person. He's 28 years old. Apparently he speaks Finnish or Swedish. He speaks both. Because he's played in both. For a moment I wondered whether he might have played for us many, many years ago. So we don't know what his crossing is like. It's minimal knowledge, so none of these are accurate. Let's see what would happen if we go to loan offer. They would want £375 per week. I need to change that back again. No fee. An optional future fee isn't too bad. 5 months. Well, from a wage perspective, that's okay. You can't do that. I mean, we could move the budgets around a little bit more, but I don't really want to. There you go. We give you £500 a month as well. Stop being bastard. We'll give you £1,000 per month. That will be half of what you want difference. No, okay. I'm happy to quibble over mere pennies. So Johnny Trotter says, Unify League. How about the Get Money League? The Cha-Ching Championship. Oh, the Cha-Ching Championship has a good ring to it. Bleed the fans dry division. I'm liking that. Ian Garrett from Kalamazoo. I'll be honest, that's a reference I don't get. Let me do a little bit of Googling. Oh, is that where he's from? He's literally from a place called Kalamazoo. He is indeed. I thought that was like some oldie-timey like TV show or something. You know, like that sounds like a 70s kids program, and Ian Garrett could be the name of someone who presented it. That's what I'm going with anyway. Casapia Ultras Assemble. That's fair. So Night of Neat. I was going on an abstract connection since both Villa and Sporting have lions on their badges. That could work. That could work. Ligue 1 it is. Isn't a Kalamazoo that sliding whistle sound? You're not thinking of a kazoo, which is just a thing that you blow in and it has like a hole on the top and goes. That's definitely the sound it makes. Oh, well, that's a shame. Ian Garrett, that doesn't look good for us in that respect. We could bring back Leo Anderson. He was slow. He didn't really play much for us, like at all, and he's been rubbish, so we won't. Wing back on the right. Just Koskopalo again. So that was fruitful. We've sold a player, and there's no one really to bring in that we can, or not that we know about that we're able to bring in, which is marvelous stuff. So yeah, my word. How about that? I'm all up to date with chat. This is a weird feeling. Retransfer time, says Hung Jamin. I don't want to make any more permanent signings. I would like us to get our wage budget under control, and yeah, generally the plan we're probably going to do going into the off season is to kind of strip the squad down a little bit more and fill things out a little bit more with loans. Red App is in. Good evening, sir. How are we doing, everyone? They can certainly answer for themselves, but I can certainly say I'm doing well. I'm doing well. I hope you're doing good too. Hung to win, but you need high quality players. So loan players are likely to be. There should be quite a few players that we can get on loan who are going to be higher quality than what we have. Let's be fair. I mean, one of our star players currently is a man that can't tackle, can't pass, can't control the ball, can't see anything, can't move, can't position. He can position himself. Positioning himself is the only thing he can do. He can't finish. He's not composed. He lacks decisions. He's been one of our best players. So I think we should be able to get most most loan options to be better. And next year we can pay. I'd be more happy paying loan fees. Right, so here we go. No issues with injuries during the week. Defenders. They play a 4-3-3, don't they? They do. Seju caused us problems in the past. So let's just make Savalainen a little bit more calm, a little bit more conservative. Let's swap these guys round as well. So we've got the support to this side a little bit more. When Seju looks to cut inside, you've got someone hopefully will be there to close him down. We might even go back to the stopper there. Just all focused on one player. Can't go wrong, can it? So Carden is in. Good evening. How are you, sir? First stream you've managed to make. Was lovely to have you in. You haven't missed much as well. We're just into the second game of the evening. It's our first league game. We're 4 points off the championship group. We've got 5 games remaining. I think realistically we want to pick up about 11 or 12 points from those 5 games. This is against the team in 4th. Gonna be quite tricky to be completely frank, but if ever we're going to turn things around, it's going to be now. And Morton is in. Good evening, Morton. I'm good. How are you, sir? How are you? So Tony Callio is their manager. I've heard of Tony Callio. And let's see how things go here. So early exchanges, nothing much has happened. We had the first shot. It wasn't particularly good. Now it starts to move a little bit more in their favour. It's a throw in here. Larson has suffered a bruised knee. That never bodes well. Puasalo to Apuku. Apuku back to Puasalo. Plays it back. Hämäläinen. Exchanges passes and here's the ball through. Smith, was he onside? He looked offside to me. That's got to be offside, ref. It is offside. There we go. Darren Smith. Oh, was this the team that had the New Zealanders? He's a South African. So that's not the team with the New Zealanders. Right. Still nothing much happening in Great. Oh, there we go. There we go. As I say, nothing much is happening. There in comes the goal. Krebs at the near post. 4 players in that area, none of them challenged. Let's get a response from you guys. We need to. We've had a lot of the ball. But not really created chances. Our chance creation hasn't been actually any worse than theirs. That's rubbish XG from both teams from the number of shots taken. Let's have a look at what's been going on then. So we'll start off here. So this is the Southwest Finland derby. Fair. I mean, as close to a derby as we're going to get, isn't it? Liao is hurt. Oh, Fonseca is not happy. Rich is in. Good evening. Just lurking here while playing FM while my stuffed belly digests food. That sounds good. Hope we're all good. By the way, the Unify League should be named Vampire League. At least it'd be more honest. Oh, some scathing words. Not necessarily going to disagree with it either. So they're still trying. They're still very much trying to play down the Seju side, and that hasn't borne any fruit. So I'm happy with that in terms of the setup there. We're holding it in midfield. We can see Dahlstrom and Ajala are involved in it quite a lot. Skoglund. Larson has got a lot of passes, but not really particularly deep. Lundberg, particularly forward, deep in their half. I mean, he is quite deep in our build-up. So yeah, it looks like the tying the 2 units together is a bit of an issue. I'm sorry, I actually want to go back. I want to look at possession. So ball's being lost by Enquist, who's been told to take fewer risks. It's being lost by Larson and Lundberg. That's kind of okay because they're attacking players. Enquist is less okay. So what I think we're going to do here is... Want more? Okay, let's put you on attack. Put both of these guys on support. So we're staying on take fewer risks. We are... Now, crossing is going to lose the ball. That's kind of part and parcel. But we are going to look to cross more often from both of these guys. And then we'll see how things go. Looks like Rockman will probably come on quite early into the second half. And possibly Shambosh. So free kick to us. Nothing much really happening in these opening exchanges. Time to demand more. 10 minutes, no chance creation there. So here's Rockman. Here is Shambosh. And time to be a bit more expressive. Let's see. Right, Rockman is young, so we'll say no pressure. Shambosh will say I want something out of you. No reaction there at all, unfortunately. And oh my, we can see this has hung them in. Yeah, who would have thought it? Who would have thought it? At least we've saved some shots this time round. And we're still not creating much. Well, we are creating something, but right, time to push. So I'm going to go slightly more direct, but going to play out of defence. What we haven't done much of in our recent games is turn over the ball whilst we've got it with our defenders. So let's change that now by causing ourselves to turn it over regularly with our defenders. Jala can swing out to the right for Savalainen. We're going to make you push up there. So I think that's what we're going with. Okay, doesn't need any further words. That's all right. Coming into the last 15 minutes. This is all too familiar, isn't it? Chasing a game, we can't create chances. So last bit here, last throw of the dice potentially. We've got 2 subs left. We're going to bring off Dahlstrom because he's booked. We're going to swing this guy over. We're going to put Rockman through the middle. Slayman up front there. We're moving him back to a support role. Let's play wider. Let's get the ball out wide, send it into the box. So we don't need to push the tempo up more than slightly higher, surely. Try and get some set piece as well. Everything we can. Let's push the opposition as high as we can. So what's the last change? Erike, that's fine. Machado, Queetonen. None of those players necessarily need to come out. Okay, let's bring off Machado. Let's drop Erike into defence. He's not a good passer by any stretch of imagination, but he is slightly better in that regard. And then we'll push that up as well. So we are really, really going for it. Right, Juhi, let's tell him that not have fun, just I have faith, I think it's fine. And Slayman, we will say no pressure on you because you're young. Right, into the last 10 minutes. No, I'm rubbish. I think every time we've been chasing a lead for the last few, apart from that game against Dills where we turned it around in the second half, every time I make tweaks, we just stop creating chances. I will now, from this point onwards, I'm not making... Oh, no. What we don't need is our top scoring player that's still fit Fabulous. Fabulous. Oh, crying out loud. Like, writing and beating in the air, that's fine. Defenders will lose out on headers. That's absolutely fine. We stopped creating as soon as I made changes, so I'm not ever making changes in the second half anymore. We're going to stick with the system all the way through, because the first half we played quite well and we could feel very unfortunate to be behind. But once we made changes, things kind of improved in their favour. Like, it was a bad game, and then you can see where I make the changes. It's here, so we've got to stop doing that. We've got to just have faith. But now we've got to cope without our best strikers. Perhaps, what is that going to be? A 2-game or a 3-game ban? With 4 games remaining? Oh dear. Oh dear. So, Druism over on YouTube says, lost a bit of interest in FM in recent months. It's usually the only game I play. How do you personally revitalise interest or maintain it? So, as Jack Vest says, have you tried the skin? That's one option. I mean, ultimately, don't force it. If you're not particularly motivated to play the game, don't play other games. You'll find that generally over time you will eventually get that kind of that mojo back for FM, and that's the time you want to be playing. So does the Finnish Liga have a standard calendar, or does it run over the summer like the Icelandic League? So Rich, it's a summer league. Starts in March, April time, and finishes around September. Yes, Hoofball says hung them in. See, and this is what I say to you in the last stream as well. Every time we go Hoofball, we do nothing. See, I've got to stop listening to you. It's all your fault. Not my fault. Not my fault at all. 100% your fault. Yeah, so he's going to get standard fine. What does that say? Yep, agree with it. That's fine. 5 without a win. Right, does that mean we need to win every game from here on in? Actually, players are starting to need rest, and we need to do 2 days. Then we've got our home game against Baku. Good evening, Crudmo, and good evening, Benny. I hope you're both doing well. So I do Discord now. Very demure, very mindful. I do indeed. So yeah, late arrival. Crudmo is here. We won a game when you weren't here, Crudmo. Can you leave now? No, obviously don't. So I have faith, says Johnny. You can make a difference. Ah well. Come on, the ham. Lol. Yeah, that's where it is. He is the anti-Marie. Bad time to walk back in. So what a shit show. That's fair as well. That is absolutely fair. Oh, Brazilian Fury win with the bits. You absolute gentleman. Thank you. And Trequinho is in over on YouTube. How are you, Trek? I hope you're doing well. Welcome to a horror show. We are quite good in Europe. Absolutely atrocious in the league. I get the sense this might be your fault, says Adam. Okay, I'm glad everyone is on board with me blaming everyone else. Did you literally say hello as we were conceding? Like, let's be fair. That all falls on the heads and shoulders of young Arvid Lundberg there. So Rockman needs to start to get in fitness. We need... Oh, Jala's tired. Enquist is tired. So that's Mohammed. Savalainen there. Machado is tired. Kerake in... Right, we swapped these guys back as well. So defense midfielder support. Ball winning midfielder. Defend this way round. So a Kerake there. Juhi will come in. Shambos will get his start. Slayman we're going to keep on the bench. We need him for the league match now that Lundberg is off. We might have to go to... We're almost certainly going to have to go to a one striker system. Which is a real problem because that really didn't score goals for us. Queetnen and Reitnen. Reitnen's okay. Queetnen isn't really. So our plan is Ponsel in defence, Lofgren on the right. Right, I need to hydrate. I definitely need to hydrate. So how are you doing, Brazilian? If you guys haven't already, go and check out his latest video released earlier on this morning. So he's been doing the octagon saves, so trying to win like every trophy there. And this is the European part of the leg. Absolute epic. It's an hour and a half long, but worth it. Like, the time goes so quick. So definitely get yourself out over looking at that. Not now. Wait until after the stream. I should have said that bit at the start. So Kwan says, I did say it's not mathematically over, referring to relegation also. Indeed. So maybe shapes in FM are like shirts, they can't fit everyone. As you guys remember, this is as I said at the top of the stream, this is the exact tactic that we won 14 out of our last 16 games or something last season. So I think an element of it is the players. Maybe our recruitment hasn't been great. We lost Alvanen, and we clearly haven't replaced him with the adequate quality that we need. We let Reed go. We thought we had the answers to our attacking midfield dilemmas, and we kind of started losing games a lot more frequently. I mean, Shambos' win rate, you can't see it here, but Shambos' win rate has got to be bad because we won most of the games before he arrived. That's not necessarily his fault, but yeah, it's been painful, but we can still do it. We've got games against HJK next. That should be nice and easy. They've now dropped down to 4th. Then we've got Cups. Then we've got Ilves. Then we've got Ulu. And how did Ulu and Gnistan get on? So Ulu lost. No, Ulu won. Ulu haven't played. They haven't played their games yet. That's a shame. So Cups play. Ulu play on Monday. Right, we've got all the players rested. We're ready for the next game. That's cool. So how many gift subs to ban Crudmo? I can just ban myself. It's easier. How much? I'd probably say 0. Yeah, I'd like to win games. So that'd be nice. So Carden says he's at a crossroads in his FM save right now and would like your thoughts. I've just finished my second season with Como and finished 12th both seasons. I have a few options to apply to, such as Sivasspor in the Turkish Super League, Volendam, who just finished 10th in the Eredivisie, and Kaiserslautern, who finished bottom of the Bundesliga. Help me choose where I go or if I go. Right, so have people are saying stick with Como. What do you want to achieve when it's something with Como? I'll get another job, another one for Como. I think Como kind of makes sense, but if you're starting to feel it stagnate there, do you want to have to go through the joy of promotion again? I mean, I think Sivasspor sounds quite interesting. Volendam obviously has the challenge of the disparity between the top league teams in the Netherlands and the rest of them. Those would be the ones I'd probably work towards. So is a libero in League One stupid or genius? Depends if it works out. Yeah, revisionism is the way forwards. Yes, you judge it afterwards. Adam says, personally, I'm biased because I enjoyed a save with Volendam a while back, but to echo Crudmo, it depends what you're looking to achieve. If you feel you can't take Como any further, then a change might just be the thing. So Tales of the Tapes is in. Good evening. It's 3:30 in the morning here in Bangkok, and I'm still playing FM. That's what the weekends are for, isn't it? Isn't it, Tails? Potato says, maybe the opponents have learnt a way to deal with the formation. That could be the case, Potato. That's not quite how the game works, but they might be playing. Well, this is the thing that's been tricky, is that normally we struggled against teams that were worse than us, but we're really good against teams better than us. And maybe because our reputation has increased, or our expectations have increased. Season preview had us in at 4th compared to 10th or 11th last year. So maybe more of those teams are starting to defend against us, and we're not quite good enough to break them down. We got a bit of false positivity off the back of last season. I say that. I mean, I will bang on about XG forever. We should be third. No, we should be second now. That's how bad things have gone. We are the joint worst team for underscoring our XG. We are the worst team for conceding more than we should. It's, oh my word, we are at the absolute extremes, and this is part of the problem. Is we're playing well, but then we end up behind, and we can't break teams down at that point, which is a bit of a shame. We are allowed a set piece coach though now. Woo! I don't want to spend any more money on things though, so we won't get a set piece coach. RJ said earlier I was checking how Schalke was doing for some reason. I realised how crazy second Bundesliga is. There's 15 points between 1st and 17th. Marvellous stuff. So, JHQuest says I play FM23 without stars and attributes. I personally prefer that. Naturally, I agree as well. Well, not without attributes. I like that little bit of guidance. So, Carton's update. I set on this save frustrated as I was previously playing one of my longest saves using Moneyball, and it just completed my first season with Roma. I started at Belenenses and then turning Southampton into a dominant team in Europe and England. Long story short, I have no clue, but my last save that I lost when changing parts of my PC was my best. Are you chasing the proverbial dragon? You've got this save that was exactly what you wanted and how you enjoyed it. It can be quite hard to recapture that. Let me see that. So RJ has redeemed only Connect if you're happy, if you're okay with that. We will do that after the next break, which is about 20 minutes away, if that's okay with you. Oh, you said for whenever. Perfect. Dill is in. Good evening, Dill. How are you doing? We are doing well. We've just lost a game, so we haven't won in the league for 5 games now. We are not doing great. We're in 9th. We need to finish 6th to be in the championship group. That is now a 5-point gap. After results, so 4 games remaining, 12 points available, a 5-point gap that we need to catch up. It's not looking good. It's not looking good at all. How are you, my man? So Johnny says Como, no need for FOMO. Do we want to let Reitnen leave on loan for €70,000? No. Daniel Norman's been hired. We've got a game against Nefki Baku. This is our chance to not very attacking. Let's start on an attacking mentality and see if we can just drop it down a little bit if needs be. Chasing the Dragon. It's a bit early in the evening for the heroin chat. It is never too early for heroin, Crodmo. It is right. Okay, just to be very, very clear, it is always too early for heroin. Don't do drugs, kids. Tatsugiri says recruitment issue. Then, yep. Oh yeah, it 100% falls on my shoulders. It's not looking the worst, at least, says Dill. Yeah, perhaps. It's been a number of streams since we've had like a good run, but we are doing okay in Europe. So that we're ending up in this weird undulating series where we win a game in Europe, disappoint in the league, win a game in Europe, disappoint in the league, and that's great. Like the money we're going to make from we should now be somewhere around 600k from this European run, which is massive for us. Really, really massive for us. Oh, we can register Holmberg now. That'll do nicely. Is Nunes back from injury? He's not. It's a 5-month injury, and he's out on loan anyway. So I think he might be close to. He might be like just orange at the moment. Where are we? It's Dev Center. There we go. Loans. Yeah, he's on an orange. Still another 5 weeks away. We can recall him, but he won't be back until after the league is... Well, we'll have Olawale back around that same point. Right, up against a 4-2-3-1. They're going to be playing with a false 9. Okay, so we are going to stick with attacking. We are going to move these guys up. And we're going with a half-back there. So with a half-back, that means that we'll actually... Right, we'll just swap these two around, in fact. The centre-back is a centre-back, the defensive midfielder is a defensive midfielder. Lundberg stays in the team. Rockman, that's part of the thing. We want Rockman to get game time, so that's cool. So Tail says, in real life, we can see if a player is good at dribbling, passing, heading, etc. But we couldn't tell if he's a 15 out of 20 or an 18 out of 20. The skin is quite realistic, I'd say. Certainly, I feel that way. But also, I mean, I think that there probably is a little bit more granularity in real life, to be fair. But it's always like, also, the thing with attributes is it's very definitive. A 15 is a 15, whereas human assessment is always far more subjective. We've been following his advice. We'll keep following Daniel Sherland. Let's see. Oh, we've got some fans this time. Look at that. There's like maybe a good 20 or yeah, that might actually be around 80, maybe 100. Let's see. So a highlight in the opening minute. It's sent long. Lofgren gathers and plays it to Mohammed. We've got a very inexperienced right-hand side. And with the wing back, we should probably bring the wing backs back a little bit. But let's see what happens here. Savalainen back to Reiten. Inside, here's Fonsell. Playing as a halfback. Splits the defender. Moves it forward to Juhi. And it's back again. Okay. You know how in the last game I said we haven't made any errors in defence? We still haven't made any errors in defence that have led to like high turnovers. Here's Mohammed. Can he swing it in? He can. Lundberg at the far post. Header hits the bar and goes over. That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate indeed. I think the thing that bugs me is I'm struggling to build a tactic that gets the best out of my players and have underperformed both seasons. I really struggled with getting tactics to work that I make. Well, Con, you're in the right stream. When it clicks, though, it'll be worth it. Indeed, Adam is completely right there. Here's Murzov. And there's Pedro Nuno, 1-0 to Nefci. Now, I assume that Nefci are, like, they've come down from the Europa League qualifying path. So we should struggle in this game. Now, obviously, I don't want us to struggle. That is again, the first shot on target is a goal. We have no strikers. Marvellous. So, Skoglund is now our striker. Oh boy. We are getting destroyed here. We are absolutely getting destroyed here. I'm not the world's best tactical expert, but I know what I am, and that's a man. Lola. But I have a couple of approaches I use that will usually work at least quite well. So I stick with those, indeed. Didn't realise we have a 13k stadium. We don't, surely we don't. Like, if you say it is just a single stand, I suppose people can stand anywhere else. That's crazy. So FM Console says 15,000 people watching FM streams tonight, and not one of the streamers is an FM regular attempting to do a draft. What could go wrong? Not one of the streamers is an FM regular attempting to do a draft. What could go wrong? By the way, good evening, FM Console. I hope you're doing well. I'm confused by the comment. Sorry. Why would they be attempting to do a draft? Is this a reference to something that happened before? That's quite a famous thing in the community. I don't know. Right, I want much better. We can't make changes. We can't make changes. Well, we can make changes. We just can't make the tweaks that we would normally make because they don't do anything. We will, though, go to a more sensible formation there. And Zhu, he is on a yellow card. So is that going to be Ajala or is it going to be Dahlstrom? It's going to be Ajala. Let's see. This will be the turnaround. Come on, guys. Time to go full Spain, false 9 star, says RJ. Who would be our false 9? My word. Yeah, so how are we doing? We're doing really badly. Really, really badly. We concede most shots on target, and we're really rubbish at finishing our chances as well. It's been this way for a few streams now. Every change doesn't really make any difference. And then we've lost our top goal scorer. Our second top goal scorer is now suspended for the next 2 or 3 league games. We've lost the next striker up who replaced our top goal scorer just now in the game. We are in a bit of a pickle. A bit of a pickle. Crockman says Adam. Indeed. We won't get to hear the Rockman song. Mariehamn to Maria cooked. Indeed. Right. Here comes Slayman. The poor young lad being thrown in whilst we... Remember, we are here playing a number of our backups for the sake of prioritising the league, because we don't expect to win this game, but still. Don't change things. Changing things makes no difference. Oh, has only achieved nothing up till now. So we're going to avoid that. Oh, of course we have Larson. I'm an idiot. We do still have Adam Larson as an option. We have one more striker than I thought. MustermannFM has run into an error. Is this offline again? Can we see? Oh no, yep, we can. Please reinsert disc 1. One thing that Rich always advises, look at your team instructions. In my experience, people who struggle have way too many team instructions without really understanding the effect. Johnny, do I want to reload from the last save point? Yes, this has been painful. This has really been painful. So at least they had another shot on target. Reekinen made a save. Our chance creation wasn't great this time round. That's under 0.1 xg per shot. Only 1 on target. But this is a game we kind of expect to lose. Rockman is out for 5 weeks. Another 5-week injury. Marvellous stuff. Fidson, welcome along. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for the follow. Right. Physio. Goalless Larson. Ooh. Oh boy. So Slayman will come. Slayman's been really creative for us. Yeah, 0.42 expected assists, 0.56 goals. He can't play any further back, so... And it's my fault for trying to actively avoid overpowered instructions, but I think at some point we're going to have to just go bite the bullet and go, oh well, let's all play all out pressing, a 4-2-4, force those wins. So our team here is Whitening. So Akereke. Well, Akereke replaced Cuisance on a 6.94, Machado and Whitening are 6.76s. So actually, Akereke in for Machado. Cuisance in for Lofgren there. Dahlstrom, who rested Enquist. Enquist comes back in. Schala comes back in. And Skoglund's scored goals for us. So Fonsell, Savalainen on the bench. Lofgren. So Stefan Blard is going to make the bench. Yes, Blard. Defenders there. How far away is Forsström? Still 2 weeks away. Lundberg is suspended. Is it just the 1 game suspension? Marcus Fest, by the way, thank you very much for the follow. I hope you're doing well. By the way, both yourself and Fidson, do feel free to chat if you feel comfortable do so. Would love to know who you support, who you're currently playing as, but no obligation whatsoever. Red card, 2-match ban for the first 2 red cards. So we've got no Lundberg for 2 games. Hopefully that'll be the chance for Jimmy Slayman to make his mark. How is Riekinen doing after that? He's down to 0.12 expected goals prevented. Still just the 1 save. I can actually do it from here. I forget that. 2 saves. So in comes Schultz for the... No, we can't risk Schultz. We can't do that. Let's put... We didn't change that back. So that potentially on me there. So let's see. Oh my word. Now you guys are really chatting. I'm miles behind. DM Bassist, good evening. Welcome in, sir. Lovely. Are we winning all of the games? We are most definitely winning all the games. Until Quadmo showed up. We had a 100% record until Quadmo showed up, and we've lost everything since. We'll win in Baku 3-1, no problem. Yeah, sure. That's a little sliver of blessing which makes it worth it. If we're talking percentage, I guess it's a 90-10 kind of split. So what save am I doing, asks Fidson. We are... Oh, thank you, Adam. Adam did the honours. Can we go Gegen pressing? We might have to. No, but no. Basically, no, we will avoid... if it makes sense. Like, so if we had players that it made sense to go gegenpressing with, we will go gegenpressing. But our players, that's not the... We're not of that standard. So we've got 1 day left in that window. Anyone else coming up as being possible signings here? Natural. Nope. Accomplished. Back down to right backs. Left backs. No one's status has changed there. Centre backs. They're the same players as the right backs and left backs. We don't need central midfielders. We've got loads of them. Back to the strikers. Here we are with these guys. Ulasunya, they didn't want to do that deal. Anything new from the director of football? It's the same players that we saw before, isn't it? Deep lying forwards. We weren't really looking for them, but we might see what we've got going on here. Someone that doesn't score. We're back to those League 1, League 2 type players. Chidi here. And I know there is more to it than scoring. So this guy playing for, I'm guessing the under 18, scored a decent amount. Doesn't really seem to make sense to go for someone that's essentially just going to be there for the games that Lundberg is suspended. For 2 games, that doesn't make sense. I feel like the whole team, TBQ, the money league RJ is going for. So no, in fact, at one point, chat was up to date. I know, it was crazy, wasn't it? It was crazy. He's crossed with. I'm crossed with Quadmo. Yep, that's true. Literally, the moment he came into the stream, Lundberg got sent off, and we conceded from the ensuing free kick. Disgraceful. Insert Sean Bean saying bastard gif. Exactly. Triple P. Good evening. I hope you're doing well. Apparently, I'm managing anyone anymore. I suggested Hoofball and Mariehamn still lost DM bassist. Every time you've suggested Hoofball, we've stopped creating chances completely. But it's not you suggesting it that's resulted in me doing Hoofball, just to be clear. Fidson is a Lingby fan. A small Danish club indeed. And I'm doing a save with Young Lions in the Singaporean Premier League. Indeed you are. Indeed you are. Recommended by the wonderful, the amazing D-Boy Plays, in fact. Short passing and higher tempo can be difficult to pull off. I often just put passing and tempo on the middle settings. That sounds cool. I need to manage in Denmark at some point. Never have. Never been there either, says Quadmo. Fonsel would like to go there. Why would I loan out someone that's played 31 games? Crazy. Carden's making some changes to the squad, but I'll keep that in mind. That's cool. Mariehamn is truly anti-football. They rejected both hoofball and tiki-taka. Oh, right, okay. We've got an ad coming up. When we do that, when we come back, we've got the next round of Only Connect. I'll see you guys in about 3 minutes. And we're back. I see that there is there's a Brondby Midtjylland battle going on. We've got Crodmo, we've got Adam on side Brondby, we've got DM Bassist, we've got me on side Midtjylland. Just because Chogoi Sung looks like a great cracking player, I haven't managed them in last couple of editions. Well, I haven't managed in Denmark for a few years, I think. Probably FM19 might have been the last time. Around the time that Adam was playing as Lingby, in fact. So definitely probably need to go there at some point. Maybe we end up there in this save. Who knows? Who knows if we even keep a job? But that's for us to worry about at the end of the season. So Jim, good evening. Welcome over on YouTube. I'm not exactly sure what you mean there, so if you're able to rephrase, that would be handy. The weather is indeed rubbish in England. Probably equally rubbish. The Brondby Loudrup link, Michael being the lesser of the two Loudrups, quite clearly. Where were we now? Cromwell says, wait, you're a Rangers fan, aren't you? It's not a battle, we're objectively correct. No, what gave it away, I see. Avoids making anti-Rangers jokes. Oh no, definitely make anti-Rangers jokes. You know, Cromwell, I have a soft spot of Rangers over Celtic, despite not necessarily agreeing with them from a political standpoint. Adam's going to start a save with Brondby and sign Chambosh, and nobody can stop me. Do so. I am Prescott says keeping the job is very important. Yes, it would help, but we might not have much fortune in that regard. So let's play some games, and then we'll head into the next match. We have a round of Only Connect, so let's explain how Only Connect works. For those that don't know, you're going to see 4 pictures of players, one after the other. They all have a connection. They share something in common. And it's your job to work out what that is. I'm not going to tell you the names of the players, but with the pictures, you have to work that out. So when you know who it is, pop it down in chat, because that might help others work out kind of things, and you kind of discuss things and you see other people's guesses, and it kind of guides you there. Now, the earlier you guess and the earlier you get it correct, the more points you get. One person gets the points, and they then end up on that lovely little leaderboard beneath there. Let's head on into it. If I press the right button. I pressed the right button. Woohoo! So who on earth is this? And DM Basis is okay with anti-Rangers jokes. That's good to know. So Tatsugiri, before we switched over, just guessed Ronaldo. It could be a link to Ronaldo. It's not, but it could be. So such a pity as both Glasgow teams have such passionate support. I just hate the politics of both sides. He's a Hearts man himself. So Ladislav Almasi thinks it might be Asamoah. It's not Asamoah, I can tell you that. You still have Inter players. RJ, I mean, it was necessary for this. It was very much necessary. The question is whether it's. That's an old looking Inter kit. So we've got guesses of Calon. We've got guesses of Muntari. No, it's not. It's not either of those. It's perhaps a lesser known Inter player, to be fair. So Ladislav Almasi fan has also gone for Muntari as well. It's not. I'll be honest, I expect this one to be difficult. I don't think that this is going to be a player that many people will get. I say I don't think many people will get, because I Am Prescott has come in and he said Mariga. It is indeed McDonald Mariga. Coached by Mourinho, says Hank. It isn't, but that is good knowledge that Mariga, I couldn't think of his name, says Crodmo. McDonald Mariga, says DM Bassist. A very much one of those players that I think most of us only know because we've seen them in the Inter squad in a version of Football Manager and gone, who on earth is he? So all of them have fast food chains in their names, goes for Crodmo, and for Adam. It's not, I'm afraid. It's not. So Tatsugiri's gone for Kenyans. It's not Kenyans. First player from their country to play in the Premier League. It's not that either, unfortunately. So Ladislav has never heard of him. FM Console thinks the next player might be KFC Westlake. Let's see who the next player is. It is indeed KFC Westlake. No, it's not. Now, I do expect that most of you should be able to work out who this is. I say that, I mean, it's not the most flattering picture of him, I have to confess, but it is indeed Bernardo Silva. Is it Bruno Fernandes, says Hank? Indeed. They're the same player anyway, isn't it? But Nando has Nando's in it. Oh, it does, doesn't it? It does, but it's still not fast food. It's still not fast food, unfortunately. He wishes. I don't know. I'd probably take Bernardo Silva over Bruno, I'm afraid to say. So Hank has gone for played for Monaco. Have they both played for Monaco? That's great. Nuts. I was going to guess brothers played in the Premier League. Mariga's related to Wanyama. That's a fine bit of knowledge there. Is it Benfica youth product? So there we go. So all of them played one game or less for their first clubs. I think Bernardo played 15 minutes for Benfica. It isn't that, I'm afraid. Johnny Trotter has gone for Mbappe teammates. This is just my lack of knowledge, not me saying you're wrong in any way, but yeah, which teams would they have played with Mbappe at? I don't know enough. Oh, I suppose it's the Monaco link. Yeah, I see. Yeah, I'm slow. I'm very, very slow this evening. Let's move on to the next clue. See if that helps, like, open things up at all. He never played for Monaco, didn't he? Now, I'm completely. I'm broken. So Crodmo says Big Rom indeed. It is Lukaku indeed. I don't know who this Belgian striker is, says our resident Belgian. They all speak 5 languages. You will guess that every time that Lukaku comes up, won't you, Crodmo? Johnny Trotter says CD-ROM. CD-ROM? He even played for RSCA. All are snakes, says Ladislav Alvasi-fan. Oh. I know that Lukaku has upset some people by professing his loyalty to whichever team he used to play for. Played all in left wing back without being natural at that position. So I should have probably started off this one for the regulars by saying it's Friday. Friday is the abstract day. We always have one that's maybe a little bit less obvious than you might think. So there are all left-footed. It isn't correct, unfortunately. The final one definitely isn't left-footed. So RJ, he was good back then. He was good once upon a time, wasn't he? It's Freaky Friday. It is Freaky Friday. He was good at Everton. He was good at West Brom. Crodmo's gone for they all have beards. Well, let's move on to the next one and see if the last person has a beard. Doesn't have a beard, unfortunately. Now Mariga's one wasn't much of a beard either. It is Neon Dion. It's Big Dion Dublin, first player to score in the Champions League. That's some fine knowledge. Now, Johnny Trotter, would you like to elaborate at all on that? Capital cities? Dion Dublin, obviously. Yes, I can see that. Seb Carden says they've all shaved their heads. That's fair. They've all featured in videos by Brian's Gun. I mean, they pretty much, all definitely. So, Johnny Trotter says that you've got Rome for Romelu Lukaku, yeah? You've got Riga for McDonald Mariga. Dion Dublin, obviously. Indeed. Yeah, the last one is Bern, isn't it? It is. McDonald, Mariga, Bernardo Silva, Romelu Lukaku, Dion Dublin. Phenomenal work, Johnny. Phenomenal work. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Jesus Christ, you couldn't have given me 1,000 years and I wouldn't have got that. Wow, Rome, Riga, Dublin, Bern. It is indeed. That is beautiful, beautiful work. He said it's abstract. I did. RJ says I'll never play, only connect on Fridays. I mean, to be fair, I did try to find some slightly more obvious capitals than Riga. Bern is a little bit like yes, Bern's a well-known capital city, but also the whole Switzerland and it having a de facto capital and an administrative capital, and yeah, it's so you normally complain when there aren't Belgians on it. We don't know our own geography, let alone European. That's fair, Hank. But to be fair, your geography is the size of a continent. Us knowing things about cities in Rome is the same as you knowing about cities in Utah. And granted, it's as boring as knowing about cities in Utah. Just in Edinburgh, indeed. He was a... So, I wanted to make sure that we had a nice spread of players from different nationalities as well, because we do have an international audience here. Now, whilst Bernardo Silva, Romelu Lukaku obviously played quite significantly in England, they've also had reasonable spells elsewhere as well. Dion Dublin, not quite so famous for playing abroad, unfortunately. Salt Lake City is all I got, says Hank. That's fair. I wouldn't have even known that. I mean, I've heard of Salt Lake City. I couldn't have told you which state it was in. Just when it's Premier League only, RJ. That famous Premier League team, Internazionale. I get most of the points from Only Connect these days, seeing as I don't know footballers. That's fair. Former Fluminense striker Washington could have been one. David Washington as well. Indeed, yep. David Washington, best striker in the world, says the Chelsea fan. Right, we do have a guess the player as well, so let's head on over there and let's go over how this one works. If anyone's in who doesn't normally see the stream, so guess the player. You're going to see 4 pictures from a player's profile in Football Manager 24. This is in the default database at the start of the game, so if a player has moved in real life over the summer, they're going to be at their old club. You're going to see the pictures one after another. Your job is to guess who the player is. Again, the earlier the guess, the more points you get, the higher up on the leaderboard you are. Let's head straight in. And you will find that if you are new in, that a lot of people in chat will be guessing things, often quite anachronistic. So all these players are definitely current football players. So Claude Makelele, Barry Ferguson, Juan Pablo Angel, sadly can't be. It would have been lovely if it had been. I would definitely want a bit of Juan Pablo Angel involved. So Hank has gone for Nicolo Barella, which is a fine guess. RJ's gone for Casemiro. Yeah, that's a fair guess as well. Jeremy Crudmo. Jeremy spoke in class today. Well, he didn't actually, because he's no longer a player. DM Base has gone for Nicholas Raskin. You know I like a little bit of Raskin, but it's not Raskin, I'm afraid. Hey, it could be Barry. It could be Barry Ferguson. Pavlovic, Nemacha. Tatsugiri's coming in with Mariga. That would be nice. Luka Modric. Kovacic.
It's not the statistics! It's not the statistics! You tell me! How do you measure somebody that could balance a balloon in a wind tunnel on a needle?
Mark 4D10, thank you so much for the Prime subscription. Really appreciate it. Let me just catch up with these guesses. We're going to move on to the next one in a moment. We have Mainu, we have James Ward-Prowse, we have Moises Caicedo, Matt O'Reilly, Nobby Styles, Kevin Strootman, Asta Frank. Some fabulous guesses, but none of them are right so far. I'm afraid. It's not Sandro Tonali either. Those are very kind words, Mark. I really appreciate it. I mean, you only get 1 Prime subscription, and that's really kind. Thank you, sir. Emerson has been guessed from Atlanta Guimaraes. Crudmo's just pointing out that he desperately needs the points, which is fair. Ladislav Almasi has gone for Zuba Mendy. We've got another Edison in there. Oh, right, Edison instead of Emerson. I do apologize. We've got Tolisso. We've got Wendell. We do have a correct guess in there. Pavlovic has come in again. So, is it Edison? Is it Tolisso? Is it Zubamendi? Because I've already said no to the other ones. Let's see. They're a La Liga player that plays for Real Sociedad. It is indeed a 3-pointer for Ladislav Almasi fan. Boom. Great work, sir. Fantastic work. A round of applause indeed. There we go. That's the tonic you needed after capital cities for sure. Fabulous work. Poor man's Baraka, if you ask me. There's a throwback. Gotta love a little bit of Ruben Baraka. They're all very similar profiles, to be fair. They are indeed. Good guess. I mean, that's. I mean, those kind of ball heavy distributors from deep. They're a dime a dozen nowadays. Dime a dozen. Poor man's Mendieta, more like, says Trotter. Ooh. Crudmo heads from title challenger to relegation form in the leaderboard, just like IFK Mariehamn. He's a Samrak Saki wannabe. My word. Right, so we're coming into the last, not the last game. We've got 4 games to go, but this is going to be the inflection point. If we lose this game, we start planning for next season. We'll be moving to our new formation. We will perhaps find ourselves fighting against relegation. We're certainly going to be, if we lose this game, we're definitely going to be in the relegation group at least. We do only have a 3-point buffer to Hacker, and so experimenting and trying something new, probably a little bit risky. We can see that the board are very unhappy that we're only on course to stay clear of relegation, which is fair. So this will be the inflection point. We need a win. If we don't win, we pivot towards Europe. We pivot to a new formation as well. Like not just a new formation, I mean a new tactic altogether. So despite resting players, Reitinen is actually not particularly fit for this game. So Machado, Bonsalin. So there we go. That change there. Anyone else not match fit? Nope, that's our lot there. Reitinen. I wouldn't want to bring him on. That's horrible. Oh, Lasse Schultz was going to come back in. Oh, is he? He has to. Riekkenen's basically made 1 save in the last 3 games. So we've gone rich man's Rodri. No, Soler is a poor man's Mendieta. I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. Mendieta is a poor man's Farinos. Tail says they're all Guardiola's children. Poor man's Vinny Samways, really. Right. Daniel Sherland, I don't care what you have to say. We are going to say, right, point finger. Let's go out there and get revenge. Skoglund, there is no pressure on you. Larson, I want to see a good performance. Schultz, I want to see a good performance. Here we go. The big game now. The big game. Leipzig is drowning again. They're 5-1 down. Oof. Vinny sideways more like. Tell them to do or die. We have told them we want revenge. I very rarely use that one. I know that people say, talk about how crazy it is that players respond even when they had no part in the previous games. So it's a pretty poor game so far. No highlights of note. Now they had a good early chance, but everything else has been pretty low quality up to this point. Here we go. Every time I say that the game doesn't seem to be doing anything, it results in a goal for the opposition. Here's Yilt over to Jorgensen. Schultz pushes it away. It's a save. It's a save made by our goalkeeper that made a highlight. How about that? Hostika with the corner. Sends it into the far post. Jorgensen's there. It hits somebody. It hits Skoglund. But the chance hasn't gone away. It's an interesting pass from Ajala at that particular point. But it's okay. We've cleared our lines. It looked like we were about to run through on it, and the highlight ended, so it must have been overhit. Right. This time, though, can they do anything? They can't. Here's Yiltova. Jorgensen misses the chance. He can't believe he missed that. I can't believe he missed it either. Oh boy. Well, that's not been a good half. but I'm pleased that we're not losing. Let's drop down to positive. Let's try and get a bit more control. Let's drop down to balance. Let's try and get a bit more control on the game. Yiltova up against Engqvist. Engqvist has been booked, so we'll bring him off. Oh, Slayman. Since we changed the tactic, he doesn't have his setting as deep line forward. Here we go, into the second half. Maybe we can do something. Topi Keskinen has come off. Topi Keskinen, I think, was quite a good player last season. The revenge thing definitely works. It's good to know. I mean, it hasn't. It didn't. We were pretty flat in that first half, unfortunately. But there's a cross, and they've head it back to El March, and oh, we almost got a bit of luck. But actually, they've managed to clear their lines. What a useless angle! What a useless angle indeed. We don't. I imagine we don't have goal line technology in the Finnish top league. I don't know. And by the way, I am Prescott. Thank you very much for the follow. Very much appreciated. Right, a corner for Mariehamn. Fonsel's going to be the one to take it, by virtue of being the only left footer on the pitch. Skoglund, end of the box. Come on, Skoglund. Come on, Skoglund. Come on, Skoglund. Albin Skoglund opens the deadlock. That's what he's on the pitch for. He was going to be the next substitution, largely because at least Shambost has surely got to be a better corner taker than Fonsel, and he's left-footed. See, this appears to be what we need. We need to play. We need to be the worst. I shouldn't have said anything. I shouldn't have said anything. Here we go. Is it going to be Vildaskova? No, it's going to be Hostika this time, picking it up. Slayman gets back to make the challenge. Here's pasta back to Yiltova. Yiltova feeds Baranov. Baranov back to Yiltova. Jorgensen gets the header just over. Just over. Right, into the last few minutes. Now all our players are very, very tired. So, Zhu, he comes on for Dahlstrom as the more defensive midfielder. No, as the more attacking midfielder. I don't have the players really. Shambost on for Larsen. Right, okay. In fact, Shambost is left-footed. We'll move him out there. Skoglund can stay in that role. So we'll do that bit with Skoglund. We'll take more risks. Shambost will take... Oh, it's just take more risks and move into channels now. Take more risks. Move into channels. Shambost to be like a... Yeah, that'll do. So both on attacking duties with Slayman as the single striker up there. I'd love to be able to... I can't bring on 16-year-olds in a must-win game. So the 19-year-old is pleased. Our 27-year-old is the one who's nervous. Have faith. No, there we go. Into the last 10 minutes now. It's a corner for HJK into the far post. We get it clear, but not enough. Palace intercepted by Queaton. Queaton just pelts it away, and it's back with Peterson now. A first-time cross. Jorgensen being in the air this time. Another cross is coming. It's just cross after cross after cross. Frars Jensen Jorgensen wins it, and that's the equaliser. That is the equaliser. Now we need to go back to 2 up top. It's been coming. We can't say it's not been coming. And is this a highlight straight from kickoff? It's a highlight straight from kickoff. Schultz sends it long. Skoglund wins the head and Morris Garcia gets there. Yuhi to Fonsel. Fonsel finds Shambost, and here's Savalainen out wide. Savalainen, can he get across? And he can get across in. Skoglund at the far post. Oh my word. Oh my word. Shambost finds Savalainen. Savalainen looks like he got himself tackled, but he just gets it past Kaiser, sends it into the far post. There's Scotland on for the header. An immediate response, and no, we don't make that tactical change. Instead, here comes the time wasting. We've got a throw in now. Here's Fonsell, plays it back to Savalainen. Savalainen plays it to Yuhi. Yuhi to Kerake, exchanging passes. Lots of passing to Kerake. Lots of passing here. Scotland through. It can't quite squeeze it through. So Slayman takes shot from distance. Shambos will take the corner. Who are we aiming for? It's going to be to the far post, I'm guessing. Looking at the way we're lined up there. We are wasting time. We are wasting time like crazy. That's easily claimed by El March. Into injury time. There's 4 minutes of it. 4 minutes to see out. We're down to the last 2. Down to the last seconds. There we go. Oh. Oh. Oh, we needed that. We needed that quite desperately. My word. Right, I've missed a lot of chat with that game. So the most aggressive attack I've had is from a balanced 4-4-2. But then again, I've used that in retro saves most of the time. That's fair enough to hear. So I love the idea that you went foraging for a target forward for FM console. Started a Welsh Legionnaire Diffuse save for my hometown club. I paired a 39-year-old striker with a 6'8" monster. 6'8", that is quite crazy. So maybe the trick is that we need to be the worst team. If we are definitively the worst team in a game, we can score. Actually, I mean, there wasn't that much difference really. 1.28 to 1.6, but they had all the highlights. They can feel pretty hard done by. That was special, lads. That was special. That doesn't really change much for us. We're still in 9th. We are where we started the stream. We are now, so we have closed up on someone. Nistan won. Ekinas still have to play. Okay, so Ekinas could move up to 28 and we could be 5 points off. We've got player fitness concerns. That's fine. We've got Savalainen and Enquist have got a ban for too many yellow cards now, so we have no left backs for our next league game. We have just Slayman as our striker. Right, Reisden, Holmberg, Lundberg. Lundberg on the pitch there. Skoglund to be reinvented as a striker. Larson has done absolutely nothing for us most of this season. So where's Reisden comes... Oh, this is a mistake I've made. Here we go. Let's get the rest in before I make the changes to the lineup. So that way I know which players have played really easily. 4 days, so we'll give them 2 days off. Now we can say Reitnen in, back in and the centre. Kerake and Queaton, that I'm fine with. Larson drops to the bench, that's fine. So Savalainen and Enquist are going to be banned the next game, so that change makes sense. Fonsell for Yuhi, Shambos, Lundberg, Scotland. Give Schultz the opportunity to play again. Kerake and Fonsell are both quite tired. And Lofgren's coming in then for Kerake, so they can have as much rest as it's possible for us to get through with. So right, sorry, let's try and catch up. How about second dinner? Need some carbonara. Okay, now that sounds like a plan. Food definitely sounds like a plan. Goth Musterman emote needed, says Quadmate. Alright, we need a new emote to match this new song. Oh, that would be interesting. Let's see what we can do with that. Hey, yeah. Can't get FM'd if you don't deserve to win. Exactly. That was the plan all along. Oh, lordy, says Knight of Knee. Oh, lordy indeed. Lordy. I feel, Tales on the Tape says, I feel balance can be much more aggressive than positive, even attacking sometimes. Fair enough. I find that quite often balance can be good in terms of wanting to kind of control the game a little bit more, run the tempo just a little bit more to your desire, but it can be very, very stagnant as well. Often a lot of backwards and sideways passes as a result, but that's kind of what you're going for. And if you can control the ball, you've got more chances potentially of creating chances. So that's not a bad thing. I don't know why I looked at Nunes. He's still recovering from his injury. Forsell demands more from Larson. Good, you should do. Larson's had the door opened for him by various injuries and has achieved absolutely nothing. We've got a set piece coach. I forgot that the staffing was up to director of football. So let's make sure the set piece coach is doing the set piece stuff. So we can delegate that to Lassie Larty. That's a good alliterative name. Fair play, good alliterative name. He likes to send in swingers to the middle, likes to defend the near post. Balanced, defend the box. I'd love it to be balanced in terms of defensive numbers as well, so that we can have an outlet. But otherwise, like, perfectly fine. So are you planning out for next season tonight, Necrosis? I very much doubt that. So we are still in a hunt for the championship group. Once we reach 22 games, the league splits in two. So we're aiming for the top 6, so we're in the championship group. In terms of like planning for next season, I know what formation we're going to look to use next season, which is a form of 4-4-2. But it's not something that I really want to be tweaking around with mid-season if I can avoid it, because it's a complete departure in style. So I prefer the opportunity to do so during pre-season. But if we can't make the championship group, we'll just switch to that plan now, essentially. Is that similar to the Belgian league? It is indeed. Ladasav says, just tried making a custom face like you have for my save, went terribly. That's the advantage of streaming at such a small resolution. I mean, all of my attempts have gone terribly as well. It's just you can't quite tell. Larty should be at Larty, absolutely. Right, an away game against Baku. The false 9 thing going on. Does he follow? Then we put them on cover. We'll just stick with what we've got. We'll let it play out the way it plays out. Like this could be a game we could win, right? But if we go beyond this round, we then have more midweek games, and I don't think we can handle that. I don't think we can handle that at all. So nobody expecting us to go out there and play out pressure. I expect to win. Just be yourselves. Relax. It's not so much no pressure, but just, just take the moment and be prepared for what's coming to you. So what the hell is this skin, says JJS197. This is the Mustermann iconic skin. It's an attributeless skin. And as you can see, you've got the link there. Loads and loads of things answered in the FAQs. Right, so 15 minutes in, the first highlight starts with Neftchi. Coffee plays it all the way back to Igor. Igor's going to send it out to Kafarov. Murzov. Can't get it through to Pedro Nuno though. So Lundberg feeds Skoglund. Skoglund out wide. Here's Savalainen. Savalainen feeds it in. There's Arvid Lundberg. And that's something we haven't had all day.
He's the man in the box. Arvid Lundberg.
He is the man in the box. You don't know how much I'm relieved that he scored, and he scored whilst being in the box. A very, very specific set of circumstances required for that celebration. Right, Pedro Nuno, chance for them to equalise. Can he restore the lead on aggregate? Pedro Nuno goes through completely unchecked, and that's a great block from Savalainen there. Denied a certain goal. Nuno with the corner. Sends it in. Lofgren gets it clear. Back to Nuno. Nuno, a lovely touch. Drills it in. Pushed away by Schultz. We have a throw in now. Savalainen sends it in. Enquist can get there. Coffey couldn't get a proper purchase on it. But the cross is cut out. And here's a chance for Nefzi to break. But not with the way we swarmed there. That's some nice stuff. Skoglund! Well, hello. Oh, boo. Boo. That was, we almost... And Lundberg is injured now. Lundberg has got a knock. We'll keep him on until half-time. My completely non-scientific reasoning. Pedro Nuno sends it to the edge of the box. Karayev back to Pedro Nuno. Shot from another Kafarov. Do they have loads of players with the same name? Lundberg takes it away. We've got lucky. The post stands between us and defeat at the moment. Dahlstrom passes a little bit loose. And here's Murzov. That's managed to kill things off. Let's just... I'm just a little bit too slow. I can feel the need for a shout. I move to the shout window. Before I've managed to press the thing, a highlight has started. Igor on the ball, plays it to Kafarov. Kafarov plays it to Karayev. Out to Murzov, sends it forward to Pedro Nuno, who does something that was like trying to control it with his stomach or something. Whiten finds Dahlstrom. Dahlstrom can push it forward to Savalainen, but the pass is a little bit underhit. Savalainen gets there okay. Kuitinen's on the ball now, and here's Juhi. Lundberg's able to turn and find Enquist. Enquist going to push past his man, sends a low cross in there. Shambost, saved by Igor. We've had some big chances. We've had some big chances. Skoglund sends it to the far post. Kazimov gets it clear. I mean, not that big. I mean, what's that? 4 or 5 chances for 0.78? It's kind of okay. What did I miss there? It's a mega empty stadium. Nobody cares about these teams, evidently. I mean, it is the summer holidays, I suppose. DM Basis is tempted with Belgium or Denmark for the next save. I think starting attributeless in a summer league might not have been ideal. It does make it difficult, like all the different save points you kind of need. Also, Alice Chains for the win. Thank you. I finally got a chance to do some to songs that I quite like myself. Tales of the Tapes loves Alice in Chains. Night of Nisa's Man in the Box. Quadmo says he loves Alice in Chains more than his own teeth. More than his own teeth. That is a very interesting thing to say. Jerry Cantrell is a very underrated guitarist. And like his harmonies are incredible. His harmonies are amazing. No VAR at all. Best backing vocalist in rock as well. Okay, yeah, you beat me to it. I couldn't think of something. I was too excited. Unfortunately accurate given what happened to poor old Lane Staley. Yeah. I mean, protect Eddie Vedder at all costs because the rest of the grunge lineage didn't last very long, did they, bless them? Oh, we didn't take... Oh, no. Lundberg's going to be out for a long time now. My completely unscientific thing that if you take them off at half-time, it's just a 2-day injury. If you don't, they'll be out for like weeks. Right, here comes Slayman. Savalainen to ease off tackles. He's suspended. Because he's suspended for the next game, he's playing the whole game. we are sparing Ajala as much as we can so that he's fresh. Right, what's going to happen? Is this going to be a highlight, or is it just because we went to the second screen? It was a highlight. Scotland with the chance. Both Scotland and Shambost have missed some big chances in this game. Scotland had a goal disallowed as well, which we should probably have seen again. But no VAR is a little bit harsh. For those of us who don't like VAR in game, the in-game editor is your friend. So, which I think is more referring to the disallowed goal that we had no replay on. Right, into the last 10 minutes, and here's the chance potentially for Neftsi. Can they break the deadlock? We're currently looking like we're heading for extra time, which is probably the last thing we want with the game in 3 days' time. But Slayman finds Enquist. If Enquist can do something here, we find Slayman again. Scotland, we've got a man over. Savalainen loses out though. And here's the chance for the counter-attack. Ozovic. That's a professional foul from Dahlstrom here. Pedro Nuno feeds Giaccarbi. And that's our hearts being broken. Oh, it looked like it was our highlight. But Pedro Nuno picks up the ball, feeds it through the line. A beautifully timed run from Giaccarbi. He's one-on-one with Schultz, dinks it past the keeper. A lovely, lovely finish. And here are the changes, which is Dahlstrom is going to come off. Oh, why is it? There we go. And so Ajala is going to play 8 minutes. That shouldn't disrupt him too much. No, he's not. Juhi is the one who's going to switch over. Oh, my mouse is playing silly little buggers with me. Bonsell will come on. Adam Larson to replace Shambost. Confirm. I say we're not changing up major options. Actually, it made no difference. We created nothing, even when I don't change things as well. We have been neutralised, and here's a chance potentially for Neftsi to add a final nail in the coffin. Pedro Nuno turns, plays it out to Kafarov. Kafarov into Merzov. There's a lovely curler. Oh, it's going to go down as an own goal. He got a hand to it. Then came off the post and off his back and in. An unfortunate own goal from Schultz. It's a lovely shot. Oh, we didn't get a hand to the initial shot. It's just off the post and off his back. Oh, well. A fair result. Probably not the worst thing in the world either. We are now out. We didn't want extra time. Extra time would have been the worst possible outcome. You gave it your best. They're not happy with that. Fine. Go and complain. Most of the players stopped being unhappy about the time that I told them off for losing 5-1. Okay, my theory has been disproven. Only out for 2 days. And he's suspended for the next game anyway, so that's all right. Yeah, he's not suspended? It said 2 games in the rules. Right, training. It's an away game against Cups. So the change we need to have is we need to have a plan for where players are going to play. Where do they play? So Ajala can play right wing back. Dahlstrom can play left wing back. That would then mean Bonsell in, Juhi in, Okurike in at defence. Forstrom might be back enough. He is going to be back enough. That's kind of something we can work with. Slayman up into the subs there. Adam Larson Best rollers as a poacher. That's going to be the change we make. So let's see. Right, we've got some really big chats there. Most of the grunge stuff has passed me by, but Alice in Chains and Soundgarden will always be my favourites. Fine choices. Popped back the final studio Alice in Chains album with Lane on it. They used loads of reverb, things on his vocals as he'd started losing his teeth and couldn't enunciate the lyrics properly. That's sad to hear. Red App, I'm having a little bit of trouble with my tactic on my players. I can retain the ball, but it's difficult to get the ball from the opposition. The Opta is very high. I'm in the second on the league for the highest, even though I'm on the second in the table league. Any thought or tips? So what I would say is kind of ignore Opta. It's recorded very weirdly. If a team has essentially look at where they've got the ball. If they've got the ball quite often between their central defenders, you want to start looking at opposition instructions and trying to target the press. Make sure that you have enough players forward to engage in a proper press. They don't do it that often. So the effectiveness of a high press in FM isn't really the press itself. It's the mistakes that the opposition defense makes, and you have the position to you've got players upfield to capitalize, which subsequently means you're always going to slightly struggle for possession against teams that just play it around the back with very little progression. The only way you can do that is by looking to disrupt them with opposition instructions. So, yeah, Adams replied to the basis. Might be better if I can get into a different way of scouting, but I'm stuck in my old man ways. I get that. I just got offered the Brighton job with a decent transfer budget of 45 million compared to Como's 4 million. Premier League avoid. Yeah, I mean, like, I think that, like, narratively, I think there are very few managers who would turn down Brighton's advance. So if that sounds like something you want to do, go for it. Catch 22, why'd you say that? Okay, those. So worst league in the world. The reason modern football is dying. I mean, considering it, a bit rich coming from an Everton fan. I mean, but first team to introduce sponsorships into the modern game. I think that's what we've established, right? I know it could be a solid platform to pick your next job from. Like Carden, I think if it's something that interests you, go for it, man. Go for it. I thought the cause of death was all the diving and fake injuries. That too. It's the sealed up Super League in waiting of 3 to 4 teams who are richer than everyone else in the world and are beginning to win every trophy. Gets very boring and seemingly has no end. Will it? Well, if it helps, in 2037, SK Brand prove you wrong. I mean, it's not that long ago. Well, it is that long ago that Porto proved everyone wrong. So Lundberg's not suspended, despite getting a straight red card. Okay, that's a good thing to know. I mean, I wish I'd assumed that they would have come through and we would have got a news article between the games saying he's suspended for a second game or something. I wouldn't have played him all the way through last game. So Skoglund back in that role behind the striker. Dahlstrom and Ajala as wingbacks. Drop down to that balanced mentality. Take a drink. First team to wear a shirt sponsor in England in the top league was Liverpool. And well, you know it. But before that, you were the first professional team to be sponsored by, was it Nobbits Toffee? Was it Crown Paint? It's Hitachi. Interesting. Right. Okay. We've got an ad coming up. I'm going to push it forwards by the minute and a half that it's meant to be there so that we can get it out of the way before the game starts. we'll come back and we're going to win 2 league games in a row. Damn right we are. I'll see you guys in a few moments. And we're back. Just wanted to say, Quad, I'm not trying to get a rise out of you. I just want to make sure that you know that Everton have been in the pocket of Big Toffee for their entire existence. Just something to be aware of. I think I said it in Discord as well, as I kind of want football to financially collapse. Maybe that will be the hard reset that we need. It'll be sad because that means probably a lot of teams will collapse as well for good. But an opportunity then out of the ashes for something better potentially. Right. I could say that Cups are 10th in the form table while we're 7th. Now, I don't know about you, but if I told players that, hey guys, we're going to win this because we have a below average team as far as our form's concerned. Yeah, I don't see that being that effective. Let's go for the critics. Now I want to see. There we go. I've fucked it. I fucked it by saying I expect them to perform. Here we are, an away game against Cups. Let's have a look at the positions, see how things are going in these early exchanges. We've got the advantage in terms of on the pitch right now, a little bit more advanced than they are. A shot, was it a good chance? 0.2 xg chance. they've had a chance as well. Now here's the first highlight. Saarinen forced to go all the way back to Hämäläinen. Hämäläinen into Lindemann, finds Tamminen out wide. Saarinen gets the ball back. He manages to beat his man and then comes backwards again. Here's Lindemann on the edge of the area. Engqvist forces a save from Schultz. He manages to turn it round the post. Would have been disappointed had he been beaten from there, but a good strong hand. Now here's Heinonen sending it into the far post. Tammerman wise his highest, pushes it over the bar. Heinonen. Oh, that was close. That was close indeed. And so Cups are starting to have some chances. They've had a whole cluster of them there from the looks of things. We've only had a couple. There are slightly better quality chances, but not good enough quality to make a highlight reel. Just playing it patiently. Here we are with the bounce mentality. Find Ajala. Ajala does get the cross in eventually. My word, he hits that with power. Here's Dahlstrom on the other side. He cuts it back. There's Skoglund. Albin Skoglund with his 10th goal of the season. Albin Skoglund. The man, the myth, the legend. I wouldn't go that far, actually. The man who can just about do things. Dahlstrom, lovely cut back there. Skoglund fires it high. Creedle had no chance. Now, do we shut up shop early? Do we shut up shop early? Haha, big toffee. Mother Noblet's Everton Toffees. Mother Noblet. That is one hell of a name. Here we've got Ajala. He's going to try and go outside. He's able to get some space to send the ball in, but Creidel claims. Right, drops the ball, sends it long. We can get the ball back. Here's Juhi. He's able to find Ajala. Nope, that's a bad pass from Juhi. And here's a chance. Engqvist plays it forwards. Akereke gets in with the challenge. And then Akereke does that. Voutilainen. Here's the cross. Heinonen. Voutilainen. It's a penalty. We haven't seen a penalty for a while, so of course we were going to get a penalty. Not since the first game, was it? Or maybe it might have been the last game that we played last night. Muzinga steps up. Schultz. Maybe that's the big difference between this season and last. We haven't saved a penalty this year. Well. Muzinga. Send Schultz the wrong way, and now it's 1-1. Now it's 1-1. We've got a highlight from kickoff again. Sends it out to Dahlstrom. Dahlstrom plays it inside to Sleiman. Sleiman beats his man. That was lovely. Skoglund can't quite get there though. Muzinga can clear. Only as far as Juhi. Ajala sends the cross in. Larson's not going to win it, but Skoglund is. Skoglund again, the man who only knows how to score immediately from kickoff. Big Phil Muzinga. There we go. What a player, brackets not. Let's get the goal emotes out. It's a poor header from Hämäläinen. Skoglund lets it drop, hit on the volley. 6 yards out. The last few moments, just tell the players to focus. And so the XG story, it's been like they've had a lot of bitty chances, then they have the big chance from our error. We've had fewer, but some decent quality ones. Momentum somewhat in their favour, but we are the away team. I'm happy so far. I am happy so far. Larson and Sleiman not really contributing much, but Skoglund, he seems to be doing what we need from him. Shambos will possibly be the player coming on at some point. Skoglund with a nice nudge on the defence, make him miss the header. Didn't touch him, ref. Come on, let's put these cups back in the cupboard. That's wonderfully Alan Partridge of you. From the free kick, Hämäläinen gets the second ball. Heinen, Muzinga is over. Muzinga hits the post. We are leading a charmed life right now. A very charmed life. Breathtaking from Muzinga. Lord knows what it was. I mean, it said it was breathtaking from Muzinga, and then their XG went up by 0.01. Skoglund, can he get a hat-trick? Skoglund creates some space. Shots just not got enough power to beat Creidel. Into the last 20. Who are we bringing off? It is going to be Slayman off. Slayman who's on a yellow card, so we'll bring on Lundberg. Bonsell is not having a great time of it, and this can be the return from injury of Forstrom. We signed to be a defender, but I swear we've brought him on as a defensive midfielder more than we have anything else. Into the last 10 and we can start to time waste. We most definitely can. We'll start the time wasting first, then we'll make the substitutions. Right. I can't bring off the players out wide. Juhi's doing well. Juhi's doing reasonably well. Skoglund looking tired. Larson will be the first substitution to come off. Skoglund can be a pressing forward, could be a deep lying forward on attack. Maybe we go with a double deep lying forward, because I haven't changed that round. So he's the target forward. We've still got one stoppage after this. And that stop change. Going with Machado knows how to pass. I'll put a defender in midfield. We're going to drop these guys back. There we go. Skoglund, Shambost. That should be sufficient. Come on, just see it out. See it out. We've done so. We have done so. The unlikely escape is on. The unlikely escape is looking very, very good. If we take the penalty out of the equation, that's a very, very good performance. But again, we've so been in a situation where you can't take the penalty out of the equation because we conceded it. But still, here we go. What does that do? Do we need other results to go for us ultimately? Does that see us push up a little bit? That pushes us up to 7th. We are 2 points behind Nistan. They've played the same number of games, but we can expect Ekenas to push ahead of us, so maybe we're not as close as we are. It's looking very, very tight. Let's click browse so that we can rest our players. They're going to get 2 days rest. Ilves are up next. Just a nice, easy game against the runaway leaders. This should be no problem whatsoever. We get our fullbacks back. So that would be Dahlstrom in there. Savalainen would be on the bench for Mohammed. Good contribution from Juhi. Olawale is 2 weeks away. Just not quite going to make it back in time. Not going to quite make it back in time. So Potato over on YouTube says, that's my song. Indeed it is. A he, a ho, a who. Mariehamn. What a win, says El Norby. Oh. It is getting nervy. We've got back-to-back wins in the league for the first time in what feels like forever. So, who do Ulu have to play? Ulu are on 28 points. They've got a game in hand. They play Ekenas. They play TPS. They are both teams in the bottom half. You kind of feel that Ulu might be safe now. Ekenas, obviously we know they play Ulu. They play Ulu, that's the game in hand. Then they play They've got 2 home games to end the season. TPS obviously are not a particularly good team. They're down there. That you'd expect them to at least win the game against TPS. So they've got probably going to get a minimum of 28. Can certainly pick up points against Lati. That Ulu result though, that's going to be massive. Nistan's remaining games. They have Inter Turku, that's a tricky game. They have HJK, that's a tricky game as well. It's coming down to the wire. It is coming down to the wire. During Thatcher government, of course. Okay, so that's back to another comment. It was the start of money-grabbing road that led to the TV deals in England that caused the creation of the Premier League. Right, you're talking about the Liverpool sponsor. So I think we need a Musterman stream with Stunt Peg doing match commentary for more lines like that. That would be something, eh? That would definitely be something. I take the partridge jibe as a compliment. It most definitely was a compliment. It I am a big partridge enjoyer. But like a traction engine. So I did try earlier to do the Lundberg song was going to be "Let's Get It Started" by Black Eyed Peas, but with Arvid for Arvid Lundberg instead. And what I wanted was it'd be like "Let's get it, Arvid," and then I'd have Alan Partridge saying like "twat" instead of the "hey in here." But yeah, I just couldn't quite get it to work. I love me a bit of Partridge. Love me a bit of Partridge. Right, we've got a full week off. A full week. A random question from Catch22. Which FM playable team would a Windsor resident support? Slough, probably. Obviously they're much lower down, but Windsor is basically all of about like 20-minute walk from Slough. I suppose in terms of who would it be for like bigger teams? You've got a small handful in that kind of southwest London area. But not necessarily that you would call local. I suppose, yeah, Reading further out would be, yeah, Reading. No one wants to support Reading, unfortunately, and not with the joy of their ownership situation. So Nistan are through to the final of the Swarman Cup. Did we get our? Wait a second. Did we get our prize money? Did I completely skip past the prize money part of the getting knocked out? No. Look at that. Look at that budget. £655,000. Like, we have money. We actually have money. And now the window's shut. We can also make it look like we're not overspending on our wages. How about that? Financial prudence at its finest. Knight of Knee says, exiting the train. Thanks for the company. Have a good rest of the stream day. Thank you so much for being along, Knight of Knee. I hope you have a wonderful Christmas. Even if you do have to be in the cold part of Portugal. So Crudmo, Woking, if the Windsor resident was visiting Pizza Express. Oh, we don't want to think or talk about that, hey? So Ulu have beaten Ekenas. They've beaten Ekenas and they've beaten TPS. They are now guaranteed. No, they're not quite guaranteed. Kanistan could catch up with them. No, they are guaranteed. We can't catch them. We're in 7th. So we just need to get 2 points more than Gnistan. Lati, 6 points. They're too far ahead of us. So yeah, we need 2 points more than Nistan and the same amount of points as Ekenas. And all we've got to do is by beating the best team in the league. No problem whatsoever. So you've done Slough already. Might try Readings, thanks. I am pizza driven. You do you sweat though? Yes, yes indeed. Stonks. People from Windsor are far too posh for Woking. Even Prince Andrew. I mean, Prince Andrew is too posh for Woking. Remember, Woking is only relevant to people that posh when it's used as an alibi. So you've won the Elite Syrian 10 times in a row, so pretty sweaty. See what you did there, Catch-22. See what you did, sir. Here we go. Every game is a cup final or something to that effect, right from here on in. Ilves, surely they've wrapped up the league by now. I know there's like another 5 or 6 games for them to play after it splits, but they're like miles ahead, surely. Surely. Oh, it's just slowing down a little bit here. Like it's trying to build the tension before the game. It has done so reasonably well. Ilves. Oh, Ilves are in a battle. Oh, wow. Wow, 3 points, 5 points. We could be... Oh, shit. Shit, if we could climb into the championship group, we might actually be in a battle for the title as well. That is a tight league. But we know that Ali Milamaki really causes us trouble. So we look at the opposition here. We are going to trigger the press and tackle hard whenever it goes into Milmarki. And Bulgakov is more attacking. He's going to be coming off the left, which is our right-hand side. Dahlstrom needs to be at least present. Bonsell will be the one responsible for paying attention there, just for the next match only. Inquest back in. There's our reserves. Let's see. Ooh, we've been on a good run. We'll stick with ignore the critics. This time we'll save faith because they got very upset last time. So I was broke when I lived there. Fair. RJ, for that you need to win both games and hope for Afghanistan to lose their last one. Indeed, but it is against HJK their last one, so it's not beyond the realm of possibility. That said, they have just beaten into Turku. So here we go. The opening exchanges. We've had a lot of the ball. 70% up to now. You know what that means. We don't want loads of the ball. We seem to be doing a lot better when we're the worst team. It sounds dumb, but that seems to just be the way things go. Tweeting back to Schultz. Schultz is going to play it across to Fonst. Oh. This is how we concede. This is how we concede as Chow with a shot from the angle, but it's pushed over by Schultz. It was Schultz's heavy pass that put us in trouble to begin with. And here Ilves are starting to turn the screw a little bit, but we're moving into the end of the half. Just a single highlight so far. Chow Gain, come on the ham. What the fuck is that creature on the Ilves bag? It's a lynx. It's a lynx. Because that's what Ilves means, apparently. Right, we're lots of final third passes. I'm happy. We've kept it reasonably okay. We're going to go to an advanced forward. I think Skoglund might actually be undroppable at this point. Might actually be undroppable, even if he's playing badly. So I live in Minnesota. That is not a lynx. That is it. It's a very Scandinavian lynx. That's for sure. Okay, it's not really any change. We haven't had anything since that first half. But we do have a highlight starting now. Is this going to be a chance for us? Enquist can't quite get the cross off. Plays it to Fonsell, but Enquist picks up the second ball. Okuriki inside to Dahlstrom. Enquist has space now. Enquist hits the frame. Oh, was that the chance? Was that the chance? Ilves clear the lines. Queaton has taken a knock. Queaton needs we can't run with an injured player. So on comes Machado. Adam Larson comes off. On comes Dylan Shambost. Okay. Give a team talk. Try and score that goal. No response. It was a fast first half. Nothing much really happened at all. But we're winning the XG battle now. Woo! Into the last 10 minutes. This is where, my word, we're desperate. I know it doesn't work particularly well up until now. Let's get the ball out wide. Let's hit those crosses. Slayman isn't particularly tall, but Lundberg is. Dahlstrom, Ajala both looking tired. Let's bring on a proper fullback. That will be Ajala. Adam Shuhi on as well. I know this never quite works to plan, but we need it. We're 8 minutes to go. 8 minutes. Bizarro's in. Good evening. I hope you're doing well. I am okay. We are tense. We need to win this game, and it looks like it's not going to happen. Into the last few seconds now. A late bit here. It's an Ilves corner. We should be delighted. Ilves are the reigning champions. They're top of the league right now as well. A 0-0 draw is a good result, but it does mean we are officially in the relegation group now. We have failed to qualify for the top 6. You're unlucky. We'll be gracious at least in that situation. 4 points separates us. I mean, Ekenas can finish above us now. Ekenas still have a outside shot. They do have. Oh, HJK have just taken the top spot. They win 1-0 against VPS. We have a 7-point buffer currently to 11th, and I think we get into the European qualifiers if we finish in 7th. That does mean we'd have to go through all the rounds to get to the final, though. Rekkonen out of goal equals clean sheet. Rekkonen out of goal equals wins. Give the guys 2 days rest again, and then we've got the game against Oulu to finish off the season. 2 days, beautiful stuff. We're as rare as a yellow lynx, these Minnesotans, indeed. It's what they look like in Finland. Yep. Was that 2 highlights for the entire game? Pretty much. Queaton should be back and fine by the next game. Gonna bring Savalainen back into the starting lineup. Lundberg to come in as well. So Slayman's on the bench. Let's get these organised by position. So Machado, Forstrom would be the one that comes out. Olawale will be back for the last game of the season. Isn't that it? Well, the last game of this phase of the season. Isn't that exciting? Adam Larson has not scored in any of his games. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 starts, 2 substitution appearances. He's only even had how many shots? 2 shots. 2 shots in those games. Oh. Imagine what would have happened if we could have had, like, Rockman had more shots than that in the very, very few moments he was fit. What could have been? Crudmo says things in Europe are a bit more crazy than over there in the US. Even our lynxes are wacky. It's just your standard, pagan lynx. They're probably magical. They've almost certainly been used in some form of sex rite. It's just how it is. Why are you unhappy? feel that I'm responsible for failing to meet the club's competition objections. Several. Four is several. And 2 of those players are leaving at the end of the season. So, I don't set the targets the board do. We never stood a chance with such overly ambitious targets. Not true at all. I would like to say, I don't set the targets the board do. We never stood a chance with you guys playing like shit. Yeah, sorry. Well, fuck you. I think that's productive. Thank you. Yeah, that is a... Oh, it's required as well. What does that do to our job security then? We're still secure. Okay, that's fine. So our crazy is more fun than America's crazy. Fine. Definitely magical, says Bizarre. They are definitely magical. Kick chair. Could have kicked chair. Like, listen, I'm from the UK. We don't have lynxes. I'm talking out my arse. I've only seen them in zoos. Fair. It is escalating. Adam with the right call, though. Absolutely. Quadmo out. Oh, Stan Van Bladeren's finally got... Still getting it after a year without a club. Still managed to get the over one grand that he wanted. What have you done now, Quadmo? Everything. Catch 22. Well, the only lynxes most Minnesotans have seen are basketballers. Are they magical? Olawale is back. The man, is he still top goal scorer for us? He is still top goal scorer for us because Lemberg's only scored 1 goal because he got himself sent off. My word, but Scoglin's not far behind. Skoglund is up to 10. Good lad. We don't know what Quadmo's done. That doesn't matter what he's done. It's the principle of it that matters. You know, we're not here to apportion blame for actual actions. Right, final game of this stage. Finally there. So Adam is about to head off. Try not to get sacked while I'm gone. I will try my best not to. Have a lovely evening, my dude, and a lovely weekend. So just to confirm for those that haven't noticed during the break, there won't be a stream tomorrow morning because I've got a Sainsbury's delivery happening around the time I planned for it. Now I'll see how things go with video editing tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening. But there is a potential that we will do another Sunday morning stream with the Moneyball Clinic stuff. But I'll have a better idea of that later on tomorrow. So night, and I'll let you know if there's any more stream shenanigans on the horizon. This will be as well the last game coming up, so we'll probably park it after the league splits in 2. Seems like a good appropriate point to call it quits for the night. That's Ladislav Almasi fan asks, what's the schedule looking like over the next week? Absolutely no idea. So I don't have any like family commitments or anything over the Christmas period. So I kind of plan to have a relatively normal schedule in terms of both videos and streaming. What that will be, because it will be kind of worked around the Christmas period as it is. There's probably nobody wants to tune in on Christmas evening, for example. But maybe we do a Boxing Day. Maybe we do something a little bit earlier on Christmas Eve for those that, for some reason, want to watch. I'm going to try and firm up those plans. Like normal, I'll have a schedule released on the Sunday via Discord, or probably put out on social media on the Monday. Right, last game. Do we make any changes from this? I think I'm happy with that. The Kerake in defence are undersized. Centre-back, who's actually defensive midfielder. Adam Larson has been shit. Actually, yeah, that's the change we're going to make. What do we reckon? We'll put Shambost in. Skoglund up front. Skoglund is best as a deep line forward, but we don't want to do that. We want someone who can get in behind. Give him as a pressing forward. See if maybe he'll be okay that way. You can play false 9. That doesn't help us at all. But we don't want a deep line forward and a false 9. But right, okay, let's try this. We know that we can't make the next round the championship group anyway. Let's go deep line forward support. Is his balance okay? His balance is okay. Strength isn't that good, so maybe a false 9 would be more appropriate. But yeah, he can jump, he can run, he's got decent balance, got great technicals. So Timek, you've asked again, how did you make those cartoony player faces? I took the face pack and I drew over the top of them digitally. The same answer as the 2 times you asked earlier. Cromwell says, not Christmas Eve, you've got to go to Manchester. Okay, definitely Christmas Eve then. You'll be away for a few days over Christmas, but we'd definitely like to catch a few streams if possible. Marvellous. I mean, as I say, because I have no commitments, I can probably play things a little bit more by ear as well. So if it seems that people say are bored and, you know, we can jump on and we'll see what's going on. Right, enjoy yourselves. Yeah, enjoy yourselves. And then if we end up safe from relegation with a couple of games to spare, then we'll switch to the 4-4-2. Right, early. Oh, fabulous. So Crudmo's getting his desire. It's going to be a Slayman-Lundberg attacking lineup. Evening, Crab Lungs. How you doing? Work due tonight. Only just got in. What's the latest? We are in the relegations at Group Ben, I'm afraid to say. We didn't quite manage to do enough. We've had a small resurgence. It's just a little bit too little, too late. And this is the last game of the opening stage of the season. So after this game, the league splits in 2. We got through to the 3rd round of qualifying in the Conference League, where we then knocked out 3-1 on aggregate by Azerbaijan's Neftsi. And here come Ulu. Daousi swings it in. Schultz claims the cross. I thought he was going to miss that entirely. Drops it down, sends it long to Lundberg. Big old Lundberg. He's managed to get the ball nicely. Here's Slayman. Slayman takes aim for distance. Unfortunately, that's going over. It's always going over. Sorry, I was revisiting your stream a few times and didn't really last long enough to hear your reply. Thank you. No worries, Timek. Time for Slaymar indeed. And there's Dylan Shambost. Dylan Shambost opens the scoring on the 18th minute. Ooh, hits them on the counter-attack. Boom. Oh no, thank you for the update. Let's do this. Let's do this indeed. How was the work do? Are you feeling a little merry, I would hope? Cromwell says a real champagne moment indeed. Shambosh with the champagne moment. But Daousi with the... Oh, straight away they equalise. There's the linesman is running away. He doesn't want anything to do with it. That was a very, very underwhelming build-up to a goal. It's a free kick. The header came in from far, far away off the upright. Sutari's there to volley it in. He gets the ball first. That's the Mariehamn way, right? And can they double? Can they double the misery? Here's Babatunde. Babatunde to Renix. They've got a man over on the right. They find him. It's Daousi again. Daousi back to Perelman. We need to be putting some pressure on Daousi. So if we survive this highlight, I'm not feeling confident we will. Here's Satari. Satari finds Dunwoody. Dunwoody. They've got an overload on the right. Diusi to Renix. Enquist gets the challenge in. Shambos comes away with it. Shambos is able to run into space. Can he play the ball through? No, he goes backwards instead. He didn't play it to Lindquist, who's running through. But that's okay, because Jimmy Slayman is there. And that's 2-1. That is... What on earth is going on with this game? What on earth is this going on with this game? Shambos, why he didn't play it through, I will never know. But it's okay, because he gets the return ball. He pushes to the byline, gets the cross in. Jimmy Slayman, first time. Lovely, lovely finish. Lovely finish. We do, however, have to be mindful of Yassin Douassi. Everything seems to be going through Yassin Douassi. Diusi. We're going to pronounce his name different every single time. So they bought out a menu and another piece of paper with everything they don't have. Oh dear. So basically about 6 things to choose from. It's all, yeah, I mean, you say first world problems, but it's a Christmas do, right? So like you kind of don't expect that. And there we go. It's 2-2. 2 free kicks. 2 free kicks have undone us. I think they've had a lot of chances as well. They did say no saves from the goalkeepers yet this game. It's four shots on target, four goals. Right, will someone take the lead before half time? Or have we exhausted ourselves from this point? Here we go. It's Ulu. Ulu with the late chance. Renix gets the cross in. Satari wins the header. Oh, for crying out loud. Crudmo, ELO, not my kind of orchestra. Hello indeed. It was their goal scorer. I didn't miss that. What an M. Night Shyamalan ending to that highlight. Love a twist ending. Boo. Boo. Just make it like straightforwards. The Slayman brings Christmas. He does indeed. For a very, very short period of time. Right. It's time for everyone to dig in. Let's point our fingers. You weren't that bad. You were. As a defensive unit especially, you've conceded every shot on target. You should be absolutely ashamed of yourselves. So Queetonen is the player on the right hand side that seems to be being targeted. Pedro Machado is 6'4". So let's shift Queetonen over. Savalainen is going to come off as well. That's 3 of our substitutes used up, but we only have... Oh, didn't mean to do that. Wait, there we go. Satari is a menace. He really is. This is going very badly. It is going very Mariehamnly. The difference so far in the game is their goalkeeper has made a single save. We are in the same... Oh, we've made a single save now. And we know this is how the save has worked. Our changes do not have an impact. So Slayman has come on. We're going to make both of our changes. We're going to see the return of Mohamed Tehi Olawale. That means deep line forward on that side. Shambos in that role. Brighton there is having a bad game. We'll just have to deal with that. That's fine. So Olawale, let's just tell him, like, have some fun. Welcome back. Have some fun. I have some faith in you, Adam. Adam Juhi, Mohamed Tehi Olawale. They're going to be the difference makers. As long as I remember to press space so that it unpauses. And by difference makers, I mean they're not going to have a shot for the rest of the game. Come on, do something. Into positive. Will we create a chance ever in the second half of a game once more? Satari with a throw in. Satari creates some space. Can he shoot from here? He can indeed, and that's 4-2. 4-2. Game over. Ah, bollocks. Olawale, jolly Christmas. Oh my word. Lovely lovely space creation from Sutari. Bends it from far. Schultz has had an awful game. It seems this is Schultz's way. He plays quite well, but then has a really bad game. Are we going to have a chance? Can we have a highlight in the second half? Shuhei takes aim, it goes over, but it was a shot. We've had a second half shot. Let's celebrate this moment. This moment is special. As we're about to go 5-2 down, is it going to be a penalty? We haven't conceded a penalty for at least like 3 seconds. Dahlstrom manages to recover. Here's Enquist. Enquist almost dribbles off the pitch under no pressure. He doesn't though. Plays it to Slayman, gets it back once more. He runs at the player, crosses it in. Olawale. Oh, how we've missed you, Olawale. We haven't had players missing chances like that for the last 6 weeks. And there's Machado though. There is Machado to bring one back. It's a bad day for goalkeepers. A bad day for goalkeepers. Olawale does not have a goal song. I know what the goal song is. It will be ready in due course, but I didn't think he was going to be back to fitness for this evening's stream. 4-3, there we have it. In the end, we made 2 saves. They made 2 saves. It's another game where we had more chances and more XG, but we did at least score more than our XG for a change. Ulu were the most informed team coming into this game. So we kind of didn't expect too much, but oh, come on. So here we go. This is the... Skoglund is now out for 7 weeks. 7 weeks. His season is over. Lasse Schultz is unhappy. Is it because you're a little bit rubbish, Lasse Schultz? And we do have our semi-final coming up next. Oh, interesting. So this is the state of play with the league table as we come to the point... Oh, Ilves and HJK have a game on Wednesday. That must be because of European competitions. This is like watching Spurs versus Man United last night. Very, very reminiscent. So we finished 7th. We're 2 points ahead of Ekenas. That's a nice little buffer to work with. 3 points ahead of TPS and Cups. 4 points ahead of FC Hacker. With 5 games, 4 points. That's a familiar story. We didn't score enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Seventh most goals scored. Second most goals conceded. In fact, the fact that we have the 11th worst defence and the 7th best attack, it's a miracle we finished 7th. Also, you would think. Our final XG position should have been 3rd. We scored 4 fewer than we expected, which is the third worst. There are 2 teams at -7 now. We conceded the worst. We conceded more goals than expected than any other team. +7 from 27 XG given up. In fact, with the XG given up, how bad? We had the 4th best defense in terms of chance prevention, but ended up with the 2nd worst goals conceded. Oh, that is just hideous stuff. However, that is as good a time to head on. I mean, yeah, you say Riekinen has blood on his hands, like they all do. Like Riekinen, I think so. Lasse Schultz has conceded 0.33 goals more than expected. Riekinen's quite respectable 0.12 by comparison. He only makes 1 save a game, whereas at least Schultz makes saves. It has been truly hideous. But Riekinen's contract is up. We were never able to get anyone to buy him. So this is his last season. It's going to be one of the areas we are going to be investing in the summer. Great stream. Hope everyone enjoyed it. Always frustrating to have the goalie let you down. Great stream though. Thanks and have a good night all. Yes. So let's head on off. I'll start off with YouTube just to say thank you very much, guys. I'll let you know. I'll update probably on the channel whether I'm going to be streaming on Sunday or not. Otherwise, there'll be a schedule sent out. If not, if I don't